Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers whip ass.
And you will too if you pass.
Now, this is, when I posted it, Billy put the emoji up, because it's the what's and who's authentic in the African martial arts. This came out of a conversation that me and Billy had.
Seemed inspired.
Dealing with authenticity, and I said, you know what? Let's do that for our next show.
Scary.
It wasn't supposed to go as deep as it is now, but not just talking about one thing, is it authentic, or one art. Let's deal with authenticity, period, in the African martial arts. If we talk about authenticity and traditional, these words, and they're not interchangeable. We talk about those things in the martial arts, period. Oh boy,
It's controversy just by itself without adding the African to it is already controversy.
Because people want to. It's funny, people who know nothing about martial art, they go into a martial art. They've been there for 6 months, and they talking about my shit authentic, your shit ain't authentic. Excuse me, I hope they don't get us in trouble saying SHIT that quick. But you authentic, you not authentic. Casey fighting method, right? He says it came from, it's the Egyptian, with a gypsy. The gypsy is what they call Egyptians.
Right.
Romanians who are of Egyptian descent. Egypt, by the way, is in Africa, if you didn't know. But so a Romanian Egyptian, I don't know. They could be of Egyptian descent, but if they ain't got no swarthiness to them, I kind of doubt it.
I don't even know about the
they looking like a Russian.
They may have descended on the land. Right. That's not the here.
Right. But so he said, Egyptians, he would be bullied, and he learned, their art, the Egyptian, and doing and I was thinking to myself, there's some truth there as far, because we do use a lot of elbows, hammer fists, so that's true in that, right? But I don't know if that's really where he got it from, but I can't say because I've never studied Casey.
Right.
So I when I hear other martial arts, oh, that's not authentic. First of all, if you never took it, how can you even? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who watch action movies that lend their expertise to that conversation.
Well, I'll say this:
they watch MMA heavily.
That's what gives them. See, MMA people who watch that, they think we talked about that before. MMA is a litmus test for at least effective martial arts, and it's not.
They do think that.
It's a sport, and it doesn't translate to everything, as we saw yesterday. If you saw the Francis Ngannou Anthony Joshua fight, Anthony Joshua knocked Francis Ngannou's ass out. Yeah. So it didn't translate him going from MMA over. And I really, to me, I'm a fan of boxing and MMA. I had a conversation with Akin Bobala, and England, of course, is more into boxing. But he said, why do you think MMA is more popular? I said, because it's more accessible to fanboys. They could do that, but boxing, you got to really work out. And
right.
A friend of mine, Anthony Space, does Taekwondo, and he was the United States middleweight champion boxer. And I made the mistake of saying I wanted him to train me for conditioning because I was competing. Oh my God. Now,
You learned.
I'm thinking he gonna train me as like a Taekwondo dude because he was in great shape, and I could take their workouts. He trained me with the boxing way, and I'm like, he said, "Man, as much damage as you've done, this is all you can do. Who let you beat them? Hitting like a pussy, you know, that's how they do you, right?" And I'm like, man, he said, "Get back in there," because I fought a hard 3-minute round. He said, "Get back in there, another one." After doing 10 3-minute rounds, I said, I'll never train with him again. They're hardcore with their conditioning.
Like
the only people harder is wrestlers. Now, in conditioning, okay, because wrestlers can't punch to save their life unless they boxing. So now, or training in something else, right?
Yeah, well, that's true.
So Francis Ngannou can hit hard, but he can't hit boxing hard, man. He can't take boxing hard.
Right.
So he hit hard in MMA, like, oh my God, he hits hard, and he got people punching him. Little, geeky dude pay money to punch him and feel good. Rich mug punch him and smile and take selfies with him and shit, and it doesn't hurt him. And Joshua hurt him. He said, and this is exactly accurate. He said, I didn't feel Anthony Joshua's punch. That's how I know I got knocked out. People were laughing. That's exactly what happens when you get knocked out.
And see, and one thing that we always say showed itself: skill trumps strength.
Yeah, right.
You can try boxing. You can try boxing.
Right.
He spent 3 years trying out boxing with somebody who walked in the gym when they was 12, 13. And they've been sleeping and eating boxing. It's a different level of skill.
Right.
The dude, Tyson Fury, he wasn't training. He wasn't in shape. He didn't take him serious. He said it. He didn't take it serious. Because he's actually a better boxer
than Anthony
Joshua.
Right.
So if Anthony Joshua saw what happened and was like, oh, you ain't going to embarrass me.
Right,
Not in my sport.
Right.
I'm going to show you what it is for real. And the same thing would happen if Anthony Joshua tried to jump in the MMA.
Right.
The same exact thing would happen. So it's not surprising. It shouldn't be surprising to you.
You're in somebody else's world in their wheelhouse. And that's why you don't fight in somebody's wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not led by ego like that. I'm not jumping in the ring with Anthony Joshua. That would be fool. I get knocked out. But out here, Anthony Joshua would die. Now, I'm talking about against me. I say that with no hesitation, no problem. Anthony Joshua would die. Because you think I'm just going to fight him like this? I fought him like this. First of all, everything got to come into play.
If you didn't have no tools, I think Anthony Joshua
was going to die. Yes, because that's not his wheelhouse.
No, with me,
but if I step in the ring, he gonna knock me out. And I know it. I know it stepping in. I'm like, this was stupid, but hey, I'm gonna make this, 200 million. 20 million real quick.
Tyson against Jake Paul. That's happening in July.
Really?
Yes. I was waiting for you to say.
I hope he just destroyed that boy. I didn't know that, but I knew they said he's coming back to professional fighting, but I don't consider Jake Paul professional.
Right. So I if he just do this and go, I'm good. If he do it the right way.
Right. So I didn't see that happening.
I'm kind of happy.
It can go either way, but damn Jake Paul, because one, as a fighter,
right,
I admire Tyson. I would not, even if I was at the top of my game, he's not that much older than me.
It's just,
but it's disrespectful. I mean, the man old.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Like Tyson wouldn't fight Ali when he was old.
Right. I would be mad to see if it's not I'm gonna be mad either way. So this is
like Jake Paul fight Anthony Joshua.
If it's a setup and Tyson take it easy on him, Jake Paul take it easy on him, and Jake Paul still win in the end or whatever, and it's a draw, I'm gonna be mad because I'm gonna want Tyson to really hurt him. Because I seen Tyson fight, the little exhibition he did with Roy Jones. You could tell he hurt Roy Jones for me. And Roy Jones like, yo. He was like,
throwing hands.
He was like, my fault. I didn't. I'm just throwing my little combos. I didn't even mean to do that. So you know what he's capable of, but at the same time, he is of that age. And Jake Paul is a young man that could hit him and hurt him. And that's what would anger me if he really, hit him, hurt him. Honestly, Tyson's 60 years old, the shape he in, I really believe if it was a full-fledged boxing match that only lasts, let's say, 5 rounds, I would have to give it to Mike Tyson. There's just no way. All that technique
Now,
and strength.
out there, I would give it to Mike.
Isn't Jake Paul? Isn't he like producing? Doesn't he?
Yeah, which is crazy. He promoting the same fight he in.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we know what's his name did that for years. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather. You know, he because remember he quit HBO. He did his own promotions and everything. So
well,
I'm not hating
now say what's his name? Islam, the Gibjeb, or whatever the heck his name, the Russian dude who used to fight the Bears when he was little.
Right. I know you're talking about. You're talking about MMA.
Yeah,
from MMA. Yeah.
He promotes his own stuff.
Yeah,
and Omniki giggle, but this is true, you all. You can look that up. When he was a little boy, he was wrestling with bears. There's video.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this is real. And
Yes.
in Russia, they do that. They have pet. And some that ain't even pets. The cubs and stuff. They would
wild bears.
Not a grown grizzly,
but the cubs,
broken
the
him in
kids
half.
would wrestle with the cubs. They got videos of that. They do it in Russia.
and he's
What
wrestling,
and
and the bear is passing his guard.
Right.
It's beautiful.
The difference though is who did you say was doing it?
I can't pronounce his name, but
No. The
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Mhm.
Mayweather is a proven fighter. Like you know.
Well, Jake Paul is too. If you want to go there.
As proven as Mayweather.
No, of course
He's
not.
not really proven, but Bob was just saying is technically you could say he is
Right.
because
He didn't beat these shields.
That is what makes it different with Mayweather promoting his own fights, as opposed to this guy promoting his own fights.
Right, he's a YouTuber.
Right, he could be influencing the outcome.
Right,
I'm sure he is.
Of course. But you know,
because he was a
entertainment.
YouTube troll before he
He's the
decided to
Blaze, and
That's how he started. That's exactly how he started.
Peace, y'all.
I seen that manifesto got his picture on IG with Dr. Ball and Renee. That's what's up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know what he was at, but I seen the picture that he had.
Is he black?
Is manifesto black?
Yeah.
He kind of
Kinda-ish,
him and Dr. Ball was about the same
Complexion?
No, he's definitely black.
Little blackish.
He's definitely black. He's definitely black. He told her the fist. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, so my daughter, I gave her one of my flight jackets. She was like, you giving me one of his flight jackets? Yeah, I like flight jackets.
I love flight jackets. And Baba does that because he has an issue with being what is considered fair skin. He always fighting that. He think he pecan tan, so he always trying to make
what he's trying to throw jabs. I'm actually, and maybe the light doesn't show it, I'm like a tawny brown, brownish,
next to us two. Between us two, he looks kind of.
I'm a little now. I secure Beyonce, right? I'm a little darker than Beyonce. I'm probably more like do y'all know who Isaiah Washington is? I'm more like an Isaiah Washington, maybe a little bit lighter than Isaiah.
On another note,
now I'm gonna say he's Honey Maple. Yeah, that sounds tasty. I want a Danish now and shit. Honey Maple.
So you know what is funny about this subject that we about to get on? I didn't realize, and I want to get into some news, some serious news, as a result of this is funny, not funny, but how things work out. But so as I'm putting together, a little reel for this, Baba has most, the idea and everything together. I just put it together on IG. But I'm looking for other pictures, so I put in African martial arts, not with a K, but with a C, just to search to see what I found. And I was shocked because I don't look for stuff in martial arts. I don't go looking at stuff. I do what we do. Even on IG, I just post. I don't really stroll too much. And I was surprised to see these. I'm gonna show you this picture right here. And I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm doing y'all like this. But this is the picture of the school. It's their logo. And they did.
Come on, man. That's not their logo.
don't say that.
It's cute, though.
It's cute. I was going to put it in the reel, but I said no because that's attacking somebody, and I didn't want to do that. But it's a perfect example. I didn't know what was out there, and I'll let you see it. I'm sorry.
I saw. Yeah.
Oh, okay. People are really fusing. They doing karate and taekwondo. So I could go to this page and show you.
No. But show them the logo. That doesn't even tell me karate.
I'm not going to show them because this is somebody's business.
Oh,
Yeah, this is they real.
That's really a logo.
Yeah, this is them on IG.
Well, just so y'all know, it has a cute little baby in the middle.
Yeah, that's not a part of it. That's
real black baby. That's not a part of it.
That's just a part of the picture. That's just the picture.
Oh, I thought that was the logo.
Oh, no, that would be extra cute.
Right. Oh, okay.
No, that's just a picture. They put the baby in there for the picture. Yeah.
Oh.
The logo is just that pyramid right there.
Because I was like, really?
So they have fused. They fuse symbolism in the logo. Basically, it's these people that know like karate, and they say on the post the African way of teaching martial arts. That's why I didn't even show Baba with the page or nothing. And I'm like, the African way of teaching martial arts.
Now that's smart, but it deals with what we're dealing with. So
right, it's going to deal with
the African way of teaching martial arts. Man, everything I do is African. I took the African way of taking the dump because I don't know how to do it the white man's way. I just know how to do it my way.
Right.
And I'm an African. Come on, man. We got to stop that shit.
So that's what I'm getting at. I didn't realize how much of that is happening and has been done to martial arts. And this is just one. I wouldn't even take pictures and screenshot. I didn't screenshot any others, but it's a lot of this. And people are it's only karate or taekwondo, whatever it is, it's just that. It ain't nothing else but that. But it's red, green, and black. And his black fists and his afros and his dreads and his pictures of Africa and pyramids and cute African babies. And it's a good package, and it feels good. And that's the problem I have a lot of times with us. We want to feel. That's what we're searching for, man. We've been hurt so bad that we want to feel good and feel comfortable. And we'll give up our rights. We'll do some ignorance. We'll follow ignorance. We won't get out of this cycle of foolishness because we really just want to feel good, most of us. And what it takes to get what we need in this life don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Training don't all the time feel good. I wasn't feeling good the last couple times, Bob. I wanted to stop. I was like, Bob, I don't feel like doing this shit today. I'm tired. It's like, come on, man, we're gonna do it light. It ain't no what's light class. I don't even know what that means. But it was lighter than usual because it is a such thing. But man, you got to push yourself to not. I'm gonna quote somebody real quick that I would never quote, but I got to give him props for saying this. Dr. Umar Johnson. Oh boy. But this wasn't even about nothing he do. So they asked him about white women. It's a great. All
right, go ahead.
It's a great interview. Yachty and Dr. Umar. I thought it was great that little Yachty would even do that for his generation. But they asked him, so man, why not date white women? You know, what's up with that? Like, you know, if I'm gonna marry a black woman, you know, what's wrong with that or whatever? You know, get with white women or whatever. You know, he said, and I don't have a problem with whoever what they date, but he gave his reason why, and I thought it was funny. He was like, you don't think when vegans go in the restaurant and smell that fried chicken, they don't want none of that fried chicken? You don't think when they go in there, they see them, you know what I'm saying, somebody can't eat potatoes, they see them French fries, they don't want none of French fries. Or that they shouldn't eat French fries. You know what I'm saying? And the whole point is it takes discipline, the things to eat right, to live right, to not to have good character, to make the right decisions. It don't all the time feel good. What feels good sometimes is not what's always good for you. So
don't always taste good either.
So I just wanted to get into that, man. And I wanted to get a little serious because I want to tell the story real quick on this news thing. And this is how we've just becoming so ridiculous these days. So 8 suspects recorded the abduction, torture, and rape of Alabama mother before killing her. These are all black people, just so you know. So a young Alabama mother was allegedly abducted before being tortured, sexually assaulted, and killed by a group of 8 suspected in a horrific attack, according to the perpetrators. Video obtained by the Birmingham Police Department shows Mahogany Jackson, 20 years old, being beaten and forced to perform sex acts at gunpoint. Detective testifies in court Monday. The mother of one arrived at the home of one of the suspects.
I see women in those pictures.
Yep. You see 3 to 4 women.
3 in a possible.
Yeah, 3 in a yeah.
Bad hand of spades.
And The mother.
Bad hand of spades.
So
Pun wasn't intended, but
the mother of one arrived at the home. Suspects 24-year-old Brandon Pope to hang out with friends on the 25th of February. However, she was allegedly being set up to be raped and murdered. They said the first video shows Jackson naked outside with 25-year-old Tasia Lewis beating her and 23-year-old Sanaya McCall kicking her. After that, McCall can allegedly be heard directing the others to put her in the trunk. Jackson was reportedly able to contact her mother around 8 a.m. I'm not saying all these names of people. Writing, "Send the police, apartment 3, held hostage, don't call." She also sent her location to her sister Maddox, posted on Facebook. Police believe suspects transported Jackson to Lewis and McCall's apartment, where more violent acts were allegedly recorded. Birmingham investigators say Jackson was handcuffed and continually assaulted by the group, including being spat on, slapped, and pistol whipped. According to detectives, videos of the young mom being forced to perform sex acts were eventually posted on social media. The footage of suspects can allegedly be heard telling Jackson that she's about to die. Jackson's body was found at an illegal dump site the next day with a gunshot wound to the back of her head. An attorney described the location as Dead Man's Road. Prosecutors charged them with first Giovanni Clapp and Blair Green with felony murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree sodomy. McCall got hit with felony murder, first-degree murder, kidnapping, and first-degree sodomy, while Lewis was charged with felony murder.
What city is this?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, that's right.
Jeremiah McDowell, 18, Francis Harris, 25, and Pope, with no other name, and Pope, that's it, were charged with, it must be younger, with capital murder during a first-degree kidnapping, as well as capital murder during first-degree sodomy. So just by reading this, this is just the small report, but by reading the actual article, I think it was probably just a girl who got her taxes back, is what it sounded like. So these are young people. These should be around the people. I know what our listener audience age is. So it's probably your daughter around, getting to be your daughter's age, your son age. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got to watch out and why we got to be universal parents. And it's not just important to know what your daughter is doing, but who she up the street with, who's in your neighborhood, who are these people? Because these fool people that you don't concern yourself with are the people that's going to parties with your children, that's going to be at events with your children. So we just need to pay attention to that, even though I know y'all came what y'all came for. I just wanted to put that out there because our main concern is safety. Because I know what people want, what they're here for. Yeah. But our concern is to make sure we're always talking about safety, health, protection, and that's what we're about. So relate to your children. Baba made important point to me that I've never really relayed to my daughter, and you would think I have. I'm a martial arts instructor, full instructor, and I've never really told my daughter, because you take certain things for granted. But you need to make sure that the man you're with, even if it's just this man, you only with him temporarily, and you know you with him temporarily, it doesn't matter. Whoever you with needs to be able to protect you, to protect themselves. Mm-hmm. First of all, they got to be able to protect themselves, and they got to be not just able to protect you. They got to be willing to protect you. You need to be able to know that they will protect you. Now, I'm gonna put Baba on the spot. I like doing this. Baba, how will my daughter know that the man that she's with, the boy that she's with, he's a man, he'll about to be 18, will protect her?
Will protect her? Or is capable? Well, first, she got to know that he's capable, right? So he has to be training in something that is sensibly for self-defense. That's number one. If he's not doing that, he's not. He's not. He may be willing, but revolutionary will without revolutionary skill will get a revolutionary kill. And her killed.
Right.
So, okay, he's training. That's one. I'm thinking about, okay, for my own children, you're not going to get a blessing to marry no cat for me if he's not trained. That's number one. Is he capable of training? That can only be known through training with him.
Right.
Right. And when I say training with him, not just doing a martial technique, what's his mindset? Going out with him, certain things can be set up, but you ain't got to go this extreme. But
you're great with questions.
One sister that trained with us, she went out with a dude. This other dude is accosting her, keeps on in front of her. So number one, he's disrespected already. Mm-hmm. Even if I'm out with one of my daughters and somebody is not coming to them respectfully, hollering at her, you better ask me something because you don't know who I am. You can say, well, she looked just like you. I know it's your daughter. But we could just happen to meet and we just happen to look alike. Right. So you better respect me.
More disrespectful.
Right. Right. I'm just going to holler at her. So now, the dude was coming at her. She's like, please, step away. I'm not interested. He keeps coming at her. She looks at the dude looking down his shoes. She pulls a knife, steps towards the dude. She deploys her knife, steps towards the dude. Mm-hmm. And the dude, well, the dude, he's supposed to walk his ass away if he got sense.
Right.
He walked away. But she looks over at him. He clutching his pearls. The dude she whipped. She said, I know we'll never have another date and I could not be with him.
Right.
So certain things
will tell you.
You'll know. So hopefully, if she's with a guy and they go out, that doesn't happen. But if some dude disrespects her and she handles it, first of all, if she's not beating her to trying to handle it at least. Mm-hmm. If she handles it and looks at him and he, get rid of that motherfucker.
If she bring him to class and he'd be like, I don't want to.
Well, if he punching like that anyway, something happened in his life where he really is a sucker. Now, maybe literally. So that. So yeah, that point was intense. So you have to question certain things, and don't be afraid, sisters, to ask certain questions of dudes. So you don't get surprised, if you're talking with a man, don't be afraid to ask him, do you like, your woman to pat your booty till you go to sleep at night? I know somebody like that now. I know my wife is like, oh Lord, because I'm not going to name the person there. I'm not going to name him. And it's not me. I don't like getting my butt touched really much at all. But this dude, that's how he sleeps. His wife pats his ass and he goes to sleep. Well, that's questionable. And it's questionable the way I know it's questionable because she has brought it up. Not to my wife, she brought it up to me. That normal man behavior?
It sounds like something that comes from being a baby.
Yes.
I don't care.
So I ain't going no further with it. Yes.
I don't care where it comes
he was looking for a mom.
You're right, though. I understand. It may not. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to have anything to do with his.
No, it's not sexuality.
No, it has something to do with his.
When she told me, I didn't think of. When she told me, I didn't think of sexuality.
Yeah, I mean,
I manifesto said that someone whose butt was patted as a baby, he has parental issues.
Right. He had. Yes.
I'm sure all of us.
And all our butts were probably patted as babies.
I'm sure.
But his butt was probably patted too long.
Could be.
Probably till he about 6, 7.
I know some children that breastfed to that age.
So I know a sister. She was like, my daughter is 7. I'm still breastfeeding. I breastfeed her. So I said, well, how long? She said, until she's, comfortable with leaving the breast alone. I said, so she's 35. And she said, I want to get married, but I'm finally ready to stop. I said, you have weirded that child. You turned that child weird. You turned her weird. You had to be realistic.
Oh, I didn't mean to call you just now. That was my
fault. She's like, what's going on?
Since you're on the phone, I've been meaning to tell you, you got to make sure that your boyfriend can defend you. That's what we're talking about on the show. So
yes, we're talking about you right now.
Right now, and I told you.
But if you heard the breastfeeding part, not that.
She didn't hear that.
She didn't breastfeed till she was.
She didn't breastfeed. No. Skip all that.
She's 8. She's 18. She ain't stopped just like yesterday.
No.
Oh, okay.
Stop early.
Okay, make it real.
I'll talk to you later.
Says that's like my grown man friend who sucks his thumb.
Oh, okay.
I got.
You know,
Okay.
We can't talk.
Is a very difficult habit to stop.
Yeah.
Well, I
have a
knew
friend that
a
does that
grown
right-
dude.
I have a
Yeah,
friend that
I
does
knew a
that
grown
right now.
dude, and I said, "Man, dude, he married and everything, and he be looking at you. He be,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
and it's
becomes
weird.
very
I'm like, dude, you do
painful.
this in front of your children?"
Yeah.
He said, "Well, sometimes I'm not thinking about it."
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That is the
comfort.
strangest.
I have a close friend that does that, right? And another close friend. We're all close to, so the three of us, and I actually get mad when the other close friend pick at him about that. It bothers me, but it don't bother him. But it bothers me because
You
I don't
gonna get
wanna-
clowned if you're doing that. Man.
I don't ever see because he don't ever show it to nobody. It's something he do by himself now, but we know he do it. So every night in my home would be like, "Yeah, you over there sucking your thumb." So I was like, "Yo, man, don't mention that shit. That shit
Now,
bothers me."
You know
But
what?
it don't bother him.
I gotta confess. What gives me comfort? When people send me money to my Cash App is Cash App. When people send me money to that Cash App, I get so comfort, y'all. I get so comfort. I'm embarrassed by it, but man, you know, it just.
If
You don't want to see me cry.
If
You don't want to
anyone's
see me.
having an issue with thumb sucking, I can give you the cheat code to stop.
Hot sauce.
No,
Well, give us the
I
truth.
was a thumb sucker until I was 13, which might be why I have a little bit of a lisp. But what stopped me from sucking my thumb?
I'm blown away. She just be keeping
Your mom
secrets.
whooping your ass till you
No,
stop.
She be
my
telling.
mom took me to get nails.
So
Well,
men-
dude.
men get nails.
Right.
Well, you can get your
No.
you can get your
Let me-
nails done with
let me
invisible
finish.
ink. I mean, not.
So I went and got
This is
nails,
nice.
and because of the nails,
You
I
know, jack
didn't
them
want
up.
to stick my fingers in my mouth.
Oh, they taste bad.
And I don't even think I kept nails for that long, but the breaking of that habit for at least about, I think it was about a month, stopped me from doing it.
Well, that was
So-
stop because my wife pays $100-something for me to get her nails done. She definitely gonna suck her thumb around my wife. She sucked her thumb. She paid $100 a month.
Well, it wasn't that expensive when I was 13.
Well,
It
that's
wasn't
true, yeah.
anywhere close to.
Yeah, it's
That's
probably
a whole nother
like
conversation.
$2,
Like
$2,
20,
$2 for a
maybe
whole
15. Because
nail.
my mom knew the person. But anyway, my son used to suck his fingers. So because
Oh, yeah,
I
I know dudes that do
knew
that. I
how
hate that.
to,
Yeah, that I can't stand that. That's
because
worse.
I knew how to break the habit of thumb sucking, I was able to break the habit of
You
him
did his
sucking
nails.
his fingers. No, I did not do his nails. I just knew
That's why
that he had
his
to
nails
stop
polish all
for a
the time.
certain amount of time so that he would stop doing it. So when we get our Patreon,
Okay, there we go.
I like it.
what I did, I did not get him nails, but I will give
I
y'all
like that.
information on what I did to
Do
help my
that.
son stop sucking.
Now,
his
what
fingers.
what'll get my daughter stop sucking her thumb? You send money to my Cash App. So now we're about to get into it, y'all.
You know what y'all want to hear. Y'all think we're gonna be trying to disrespect somebody, and that's what.
Yeah, people ready because they ready to
Say my
slam
name. I
into
just wait for you to say
right.
that.
What you say? I'm not authentic. Stop it. Stop it. So it comes from traumatic, chaotic upbringing. Something I don't know. All thumb suckers. Now, there's some thumb sucker I knew who's grown with children. His did come from a traumatic, chaotic upbringing. I will say that, but I don't know if all.
Did Amy have a traumatic, chaotic upbringing?
Yeah, me don't suck a thumb.
Oh, I thought you were
I was
just
just
giving
joking.
an example. Oh, okay.
No, I was saying I was like, yeah, me would not suck her thumb because her mother be like, shit, I pay all this money for these nails. So I deleted my hot sauce that his mom did comment by accident. I deleted my hot sauce that his mom did comment by accident.
I'm sorry that happened.
I got confused. But now, black people would say, put hot sauce on their thumb, but shit, all I know
that doesn't work.
no, and children just be sucking. You just play with their thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I put
In the
something
calm,
else
relaxed
on my
moments,
son's fingers,
absent-minded,
and
he's
that's
sucking thumb.
I got a problem with people. Who,
Old dirty kung fu, bless him. His mom was told to put hot sauce. Yeah, people say that, but that doesn't.
I got a problem with people who put their fingers in their mouth.
They touch it like your face or something.
No, and just don't realize that they're doing that when they eat. They eat something, then they touch their fingers, and then like they're just
that happens all the time.
yeah, but then they don't wash their hands, they be touching other stuff and like you can't do that.
Well,
in my house.
also it's gross. You touching stuff all day and you don't wash your hands, then you eat a sandwich or something.
Oh yeah,
that's gross.
I can't stand to see people,
and it's unhealthy. So anyway,
okay, yeah. We talking about you.
Yes. Tradition and wash your hands,
God.
Wash your hands. When
That's
people
the
in
COVID,
COVID, people told wash their hands. Like people ain't been washing their hands already.
No, they don't come in when you get in the house. Wash your hands. Yeah, take your shoes off. Wash your hands.
Every time.
Don't wash your hands, but I've been a server for a long time.
Oh Lord, that's gross. She's gonna say she's been a server. She don't wash her hands. It takes too much.
Servers that you cannot wash your hands too often. Sometimes you have to get some of those germs. I'm telling you, the people who wash their hands all the time are the ones that end up getting sick. Okay, between the three of us, which one of us has been? Which one of us has not been sick anytime recently?
Well, I can't say it's because I was washing my damn hands. Damn,
I'm going to say it's because
I'm gonna keep washing my hands.
This is why you've not been sick the most, because you're the one out of all of us that's out the most. So you're more used to being around people. And
you're fasting more. I can't fast.
Now
I would say that. So you're telling me if I just when I wipe myself, I wash my hands and then I go give me some chips. Give me some chips. This is what Ominika is telling us.
No, because all we say is wash your hands when you come in from when you come in the house. Wash your hands, and you want.
Old Dirty Kung Fu says you are washing off the natural flora and fauna. But flora and fauna.
After I wipe my butt.
Flora and fauna is plants and animals.
Right. You got well. I'm sure if you eat flesh and you wipe your butt, you got fauna on there too. Plants and animals on your nails and
right.
God, come on,
sterile.
No, I don't want to be sterile.
That's antiseptic.
I want to be sterile, dural, or down. All right. So now, tradition and authenticity are big topics in martial arts.
Are we doing any technique?
Yes, it's all.
Okay,
so y'all didn't check the show notes.
No, I did. I just read my stuff.
Why you say y'all?
So
because we know you ain't.
I'm like, if he didn't do it, I know damn well. So tradition and authenticity are big topics in martial arts. Huge topics. Everybody always talking about this person traditional, this my martial arts traditional, this person so authentic. It's serious. Big topics. That's why so many people viewing right now. And mash the like buttons, y'all.
I even
the map ain't mapping. Like the like buttons. I mean, mash the like buttons. Subscribe.
Yes, please.
And tell your folks to watch too, because we are gonna get controversial and talk some shit now.
We got to.
But we're gonna wash our hands after.
Exactly.
What Ominika talking about?
Some of us will.
Yeah, right. The closer any school can prove to be authentic origins, it's martial art. Authentic origins. The more legitimate and recognized it tends to be in any martial arts community.
Yeah, my seafood trained with Bruce Lee.
Right, exactly. That's gonna legitimize you. Your seafood may have been asleep while Bruce Lee was teaching anything. If teacher X of a certain school, for example, has spent a few years in Senegal, Korea, France, China, or Brazil, and learned from important masters there, this will hugely increase recognition for teacher X's school and decrease any delegitimizing attacks from detractors or competitors. I've been teaching for a long time, right? Over 50 years. Well, training over 50 years, teaching over 40 years. Close to 40 years. When we bought Big Pato here from Senegal, motherfuckers who I know never said nothing to me. Never tried to train. None of that. Here they go. They going and I was grateful that they joined the class, they did the remote training and stuff. And we had offered remote training all through COVID. I ain't heard from nobody, but I'm just me. I'm just little me. Big Pato comes from Senegal, and people, and hit me this day to get the video of Big Pato. The only reason we ain't put the video out is really my lack of technical skill with it. And then also a part of me is like, damn, it's that. Like, man, we ain't heard from you. So now you're giving me some credit for authenticity because I bought somebody from Africa here when other people be talking about, we're going to bring this master from Africa and this person from Africa ain't done a goddamn thing. Ain't done a goddamn thing. I just had to say that because I don't like that too.
And I want to,
if you're making these promises to bring people, one, it's because you think that that's going to legitimize you. We didn't bring him here to legitimize. We brought him here to train.
Right.
And the training was great, right? And I will say, there were things that I did he ain't never seen.
Let me say,
and there were things he did I ain't seen.
I will say, I was about to not, I would just say this, what Baba just said, that's what people tend to recognize to make you legitimate. If you've studied, if you've been in martial arts and you train with something and you don't have that ego, like I've trained in Jeet Kune Do and stuff like that. She trained in Wing Chun, and then you come to African martial arts. If you put your ego aside, you realize, oh, this is the truth. This is more this than that. This has more of this. This is more close to that. This is doing this. So you see that. That's what legitimizes it. When you put it up against what you've learned, what you see, and what people come at you with, that's what legitimizes. So when Big Pato came in, it was great. And a part of me did think he coming from the land, he about to show us, and he did. He showed us about the sport that he's in, and he did, and he showed us,
which is Lamba,
right? Which is
but
Lamba,
also, so there was no hesitation to have him come to class,
right?
And when he came to class, his wife said to us, "Oh, this is where he's going to be training at." Mm-hmm. And so the discussion was he had to move from Atlanta. He lives elsewhere, which I won't name. That's his business.
Right.
But he wanted me to be his one of his trainers and his manager for fighting MMA.
Right.
So
you recognized right away that
right.
what we was doing is the real. That's what I was getting at.
And I'm with it. Well, we used to train this brother from another brother from was he Senegal? He was.
And if y'all don't know who Big Pato is, he's a champion wrestler.
Either Senegal or the Congo. I can't remember. I don't remember this brother. He would train all the time. He said, can you send me an invoice? Well, he said, this is just I'm training yoga. This is just like back home. Mm-hmm. I mean, I already knew that. That's good. Other people hear that and people, man, we'll get into that further. That's nice, but there are people who BS, and so I guess you look for somebody to validate. But damn, I ain't been teaching just for 4 or 5 years, right? So. And have never ran away from somebody coming in this door. Never. You're open to come as long as you're respectful and learn. And if you try to, if you say, well, I want to spar, number one, you don't really want to spar the way we do, but I'm not playing with you if you come in the door and let you know that too. Okay. But I'm willing to teach anybody and to stand next to anybody or stand opposite anybody and touch hands with anybody, because the African, I'm talking authentic African martial arts, stand with anybody. Now, we're going to get further into authenticity and tradition. All right.
Before we go deep into the topic, first we need to understand that most traditions are quite simply invented. Often thought to be centuries or even millennia old, many traditions are much more recent and were invented with particular goals in mind. There are a set of norms and practices that attempt to impart certain values, and normally attempt to establish continuity with the distant past, when in fact they are often recent. We talked about that on the show we did. We went, I don't know the name of it, when we showed that some of these Asian martial arts we thought was so old were not.
Right.
So the 1,000-year-old tradition of Tai Chi is really a 150-year-old invention by certain Chinese elites to propagate national ideas.
That was
National.
That was big. That was a big
Nationalist ideas, excuse me. Many schools in the samurai tradition aren't 500 years old, but really dating from the late 1800s or early 1900s, when Japan experienced a reinvention and rebranding of samurai ideas.
If you think about it, a lot of history kind of does that.
Yes.
You pay attention or you research.
Right. And also, Taekwondo is not an ancient Korean martial art, but was really invented in the 1950s as a way of resisting Japanese colonialism.
Did you know?
So, Taekwondo, a lot of it, like the high kick, they'll say that, the Korean soldiers would use the kicks to kick soldiers off their horses. You fell for that? A horse coming at you. It's like a car coming at you, and you're going to kick the right, jump up and kick the right off. Lies. Though the high kicking was added because really the Korean martial arts, particularly Taekwondo, came from the Japanese martial arts, but they wanted it different. Japanese martial arts do not do all that high kicking like that.
Yeah, right.
And so they added the jump kicks and all of that to make it different, to give it Korean national ideas, because the Japanese, they colonized. So they wanted something different. But that actually came from the Japanese martial arts. And you can like it or not. That's the truth of that. That's the truth of that. Now, we ain't here to talk about them. We're here to talk about authenticity in African martial arts. First, let me speak on Egbe Ogun, which is what we do, right? That's the African martial art we practice. Egbe Ogun is a hybrid of 3 traditional African martial arts systems. Lamba from Senegal, Kilijiwaro from the Mandinka of Mali, and Ijikadi from the Yoruba of Nigeria.
I got a question. I've seen it. Can Ijikadi be used differently than? I've seen somebody, I thought, using the word Ijikadi martial arts. All right, just go ahead. I'm sorry, because I really did see that.
Right. So
ever since this, I've been looking at stuff I never saw before.
So yeah,
we can get to it later.
People will say, okay, that's a Yoruba martial art. I'm gonna use that term because that sounds cool, but they don't know anything about the African martial arts, to be honest with you. So, when you hear Jakadi, Jakuta, all those mean to throw. So, Jakuta is the Ja is fight. You hear Ku, that's throw. So a throwing fight, grappling. Ijikadi, grappling. Jakuta is the stone thrower. So that's the name for Shango, who's the stone thrower. We'll deal with weapons in traditional African martial arts. But anyway, and it deals a lot with using stones in certain ways. Egbe Ogun is a hybrid of the Lamba, Kilijiwaro, and Ijikadi, plus strategies, tactics, and mental development and breathing techniques from the U.S. Army Special Forces. So I would say Egbe Ogun is authentic, but not traditional, because it's a hybrid of 3 traditional African martial arts systems, but it also uses strategies, tactics, and breathing and things like that from U.S. Special Forces that I learned, my father learned, and so those things were valuable. I wanted to teach the students because they enhance my training, and so I wanted to enhance their training. Also, we learn firearms and all that. That does not come from traditional, if you will, martial, but we also use traditional tools from those traditional arts.
And
We'll see
principles.
that. And the principles always. So we're gonna deal with the principles too. What makes your stuff African, and this is across the board. So I say it's authentic. I don't call it traditional because of that. And if somebody came in here, like, I've been doing Zulu martial arts for 13 years, I'm going to learn from that what's valuable. Same way everybody say, hey, I'm interested in the karambit. So we added that to our tools. That doesn't come from Africa. The way it's used in Indonesia doesn't come from Africa, but that type of tool, like that, the sickle blade comes from the continent. We got the kopesh. We've got the kopesh from Egypt. We got the what is it called? The sickle sword from Ethiopia.
Did you see the samurai go to Ghana?
The who? The samurai went to Ghana. The samurai is Spanish from Ghana.
It's gonna do your heart good to see her with those two. I forgot what those swords are called, but she got those ones with the little hook at the end. She can't work. She wasn't working them as fast as the other ones because
her family is from Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, she's.
I guess it's her first time coming back because they made a big deal of it.
But she grew up in England.
That's what it was. Okay.
Now on wrestling, okay, because we brought Pato in, and Pato is Lamba is wrestling. Okay, it's wrestling from Senegal, but it's more than that. If you go to most countries in Africa and ask for martial arts, they will send you. You say, so I want to learn some martial arts. You go to any country in Africa, most, if not all, but I say most, because I ain't been there or know people from all. They will send you to a karate dojo, kung fu kun, or taekwondo dojang. You say, I want martial arts, because that's martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to learn African martial arts, you'll ask for wrestling. You will most likely get the sport version, but if you know someone or know someone who knows someone, you might be taught the combat aspects of that wrestling. So wrestling is what we had to do in peacetime, right? And Billy will go a little bit further into wrestling, but that's peacetime stuff. If you think, okay, we do that during peacetime, it's just a sport, you're foolish. This is a sport, but then we don't have no techniques for defending ourselves. Somebody's just come to take our shit.
Right.
In fact, I'll end this, not end it, but I'm going to say this so Billy can take it. Went to a conference. I'm on a panel. The moderator asked us, do you think in Africa that we fought to defend our territory or we just gave our territory to people? This one brother who I respected, he says, so I said, well, I'm going to give it to because people want to hear what I got to say, but I'm going to give it to my elder so he can speak before me. And I know what I'm just curious what other people are going to say. I don't want them influenced by what I say. He says, Africa is so big. First of all, Africa is not a country. Mm-hmm. So whatever your country is, it may not be that big. But let's say you're from Mali, which is big. Africa's so big, he says, that people will come in, they want to take your territory. We just give them that territory and we move on to the next place. I said, that is the most ridiculous shit I ever heard. Just like that. People looking, oh. I said, no disrespect, elder, but that is nonsensical. That somebody just come to my house. I said, man, I got a big crib. And I look and tell my wife, baby, our house so big, just let that mug take the living room. We'll go down to the basement and make out. Get out of here. That's what we do. We just let people take our shit. We have, unfortunately, and they tricked us out of our stuff. And then it's too late. Now they all up in our mind. And that's how we got defeated and shit got taken from us. But, and then later it's just, just giving up stuff for money. And, we became capitalists. So it's easy to just, but.
Well, we thought like I said, even here, we thought it was we thought it was crazy. You want to buy land? Like what? You can't own dirt. What y'all trying to do?
Right, and Mayor thought those dudes were stupid.
That's what they thought.
And now they charge you to breathe. They charge you to drink free water.
Yep.
So you let people in your house, and then you're shocked that they just pee on your floor. Because you let them come in, these people who were not your friends, they were not your family, and then they come and take your jive if they can't trick you out of it. And you got the mindset. So I'm like, this person definitely will take his stuff. The mindset, our stuff's so big, we just gave it to him. There's another brother who's an author. He doesn't like reading Sword and Soul because he says Sword and Soul shows, it's pre-colonial. So it's black people fighting black people. Black people didn't fight other black people until the white man taught us to fight each other. Stop that stupid shit. Are you out your mind? War has existed since goddamn men became men and walked on this planet.
Right.
Don't you think it's no utopia? War is a force of nature. That's why in all cultures they talk about war as a god.
Right.
Because it's a force of nature.
Now, if you want to hold on to something that maybe a certain type of slavery you could say didn't exist when it was just black versus black.
Right, chattel slavery, but there was slavery.
There was slavery.
But it wasn't chattel slavery. But there was always been war. There's been taking of life. There's been sexual assault. There's been all these things. White man didn't create the right. We just perfect beings.
Right.
If we were perfect beings, they wouldn't have took our job.
He was the original sin.
Right.
He was the first.
And when he came, he just took it all because we were so peaceful
and pure.
And loving.
We didn't understand.
Right, we didn't understand.
What is this? Is this?
He just shot my brother.
We're going to call this violence.
He just shot my brother, but we understood collecting pearls.
Yeah.
Because he just killed. What is he doing? That's my mother. And he's on top of her like dad.
We're going to call this sodomy. We're going to call this rape. We're going to call it. Just named the first shit.
Name it.
As soon as
that looks like rape. Get out of here.
Right.
So
I don't like that kings and queens.
So and that too.
That's what it is. It's all the same.
It's the same thing. We were all kings. We were all kings and queens. So we had nobody working for us. Right. We were all kings and queens. So who's working? Who's working? The lower king.
Was anybody a cook?
I don't think that kings. And I've said this before. I don't think that kings and queens thing comes.
Defended shade, mama.
Really thinking that we were kings and queens.
There are people that believe that.
Yeah, but rather that we had our own royalty. Whereas in the world that we grow up in and the things that we see, the only thing that we are taught as royalty is
the only reason
I understand, but you know what I say in that too? That's still that 1980s bullshit because it's wrong. Because queen is a European concept. Right. Women, that's what people got so mad. Even when I wrote that, I posted women were kings in Africa too. This before the woman king. I wrote an article on that, right? People were upset. Nzinga Mbande. Mbande is not her last name. That is her title. But her brother before her was the Mbande. He wasn't the Mbando. Like it's different. He was the so-called king, the ruler, and she was the ruler. The same rank is the exact same.
Yeah, that's the
saying Queen Nzinga is ignorant and insulting. You haven't even decided to learn what this is. But Queen Nzinga was an African warrior. Right. But you talk about African war, and you talk about, you went and learned these games that African play, and this is African martial arts. You're ignorant. And you're talking from and you sound ignorant, but people, like you said, we want to feel something. So we want to feel, this is a book on African martial arts. Not that I write, because I don't have a PhD, but this PhD writes this book.
That doesn't do any arts.
Right. It's talking about games that we played, and you think that's something to do with martial arts? Stop it. A brother from Chicago, who we all know, came here and bought me that book to show me. I said, okay, that's nice. I think he, bring it as a gift for me. That's nice. I read it already. Yeah, I don't, I won't say nothing else about it. That's all I said, and just threw that back to him. He took that book back with him. If he bought it for me for a gift, hey, yeah, I'm saying it because you watched the show. I'm sorry. I did that many years ago. But if it wasn't a gift, I hope you giving that to somebody or throwing that in the box.
Right. And that's all it is. I understand why people say kings and queens. Again, it's about the feel. They want to change the vibration and all. But I want to do it in a sensible term and stay. If we're gonna be African or we're gonna be black, we're gonna do it all the way. That's why I don't do namaste and all that, because that shit ain't. I don't know where that come from.
That's not African.
Yeah,
well,
I know
well,
exactly where it comes from. I'm being funny. What I'm saying is that's not your culture. So
these sisters brought me in to teach on martial arts, and they said, "Well, what if a man is trying to take your yoni from you?" I said, "I don't know what that is." Of course, I know what it is. I said, "I don't know what they said. Your yoni." I said, "What?" They said, "Your private brother." I said, "Sister." I know what a yoni is. I said, "But the sisters in India, they got yonis. You got something else."
You need to figure out what that is.
And I told it from other languages. What the other African tongues, what that's called. And they like, we're gonna change this.
That's what it should be about. We got to get to ourselves, man. I know we want to feel good, but let's be right.
I got 8 daughters. 1 son, 8 daughters. Not one of my daughters got no yoni.
Last night, I thought it was 7.
I got 8 daughters. Not one of my daughters got no yoni. Because they're not Indian. They weren't born in India. Indian women have yonis.
And that's what I want us to get at. That's what it's about. So anyway,
now
to wrestling.
Now somebody would say, "Well, do your daughter have a vagina?" That's English. I would say, yeah, certainly. All women have a vagina. That's the whole, fool. That's not the whole thing. The whole thing in English is called a vulva. Well, we happen to speak English, so I can communicate with that. But no, she don't have a vulva. It's something else, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. And we use the Yoruba term for our children. But look it up.
Come to Patreon.
Or come to Patreon. In Patreon, I'm gonna write it in a big title. I'm gonna write a big title, and I'm gonna have a picture of a flower right there.
You're gonna teach sexology in Europe. That's what we're gonna do on the Patreon.
Yes, in Europe. And I give you Odu on it too. Woo! Which is the corpus of knowledge. I can give you corpus of knowledge on it.
Let's talk about
and how it was made. You think you know how it's made. Dudes, you don't know how it's made. Sisters, most sisters don't know how it was made. Well, you don't know how you made, most people.
On the next.
How were you made? But that's going to be on Patreon. How were you made? And I ain't talking you made from no dirt. I ain't dealing with that. I'm not attacking no religion.
You have to put that on the African spirituality Patreon.
Well,
that's too good for that's how you jump African spirituality off. They Patreon off with that one right there. Yeah. How were you made? That's how you made. Jump that. That's the first Patreon right there.
And grabbing dirt, I know Christians believe you came from the dirt, red dirt, and all that. Well, men did, and the woman came from the rib. And actually, I was taught as a child by some folks, not my parents. Now they didn't teach me this. This was in school. They said men have one less rib than women.
Yeah.
Because we gave up our rib. We have the same amount of ribs, y'all. We have the same amount of ribs.
Like a short rib?
Yeah, short. Now I like short ribs.
I'm serious. I thought we had like one short rib because we.
That is ridiculous.
Okay.
And if you look at
no short ribs.
If you look at the rib cage of a man and a woman, they're the same. They got the same amount of goddamn ribs, y'all. Stop it with the spookism.
Men evolved to have more ribs over time.
No, women did. Because women got more ribs. We gave our rib to y'all, so it's one less rib for men.
Right. I'm saying, but then y'all caught
up. We caught up because we evolved.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're evolved beings.
Exactly. Since we were created, 5,000 years ago.
We also created barbecue sauce to remind us of the rib that we lost.
And
boom,
Jones barbecue sauce is available in the grocery store near you.
That's a nugget right there.
There you go. You get everything on work out.
Come here to know about what.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Back to this wrestling, y'all. So,
and if you don't know, we jump around, but we always get back to it.
We always come
all right.
Back. It all comes together. To wrestle one's opponent is to put them on their back, belly, or side by any means.
Yeah, bro.
Grappling is how wrestling is practiced during peacetime, but it is not the end-all, be-all of the African martial arts. African martial arts all use tools and are tool-based.
So, like I told y'all, Big Pato, when he came, Akin Bobala, one of he's a master instructor. He asked, "What tools do y'all use?" Number one, Big Pato knew it instantly. We were talking about quote unquote weapons, but that we are the weapon. Instantly knew that.
Yeah.
So they said, "Well, we use." He said, "How do y'all call? You know, it's like the gun, but with is it rhino hide, I believe? But it's the guy said you holding it. No, not the bow. They know the bow. You hold the handle in one hand and
Slingshot.
you hold. Boom. That's exactly what he didn't have the English word. He said you go and Akinball said slingshot. He said that's it. He said the slingshot that comes from Senegal, and the sling. It don't come from Senegal, but that's African. You know, using the sling. I told you, we're talking about dealing with stones, and the slingshot. Those are tools that they use.
So if David ain't exist, the name David made didn't exist 10,000 years ago, but the slingshot.
Right.
Real quick.
Now, well, that's just to let you know that Lamba is not just a sport. Okay. It's just the people need money. And so they turned into a sport that is actually the most popular sport in Senegal, and it is one of the most popular sports in the world. Wrestling, period, is at the crux of most cultures.
Of course, whether it be the crazy wrestling we got or the wrestling in Senegal.
Shit, Mongolia, everybody.
Piece real quick before we run down. I know we said a couple of shout outs. Rashad Lardy, said Lardy, I think that's it. We haven't seen him before. Jamal 09, peace.
Young black economist.
Yep, young black economist.
I have a lot of I have a nice
Terry
slingshot too.
I got one. I need to get another band on it. I have a very nice slingshot as well. It was gifted to me. So yeah, we're gonna get back into it. So African martial arts do not have forms or kata. As much as we love how they look, I love this a nice strong. The people I just showed them the logo. The logo.
The wing turn kata.
The people I just showed them, they got their own karate. They got the African karate. They got the master instructor. She was doing her own kata. It looked so good. When her hands went out and her hands were shaking at the end. It was. I love it. But anyway,
there's the Shotokan kata that they do in Chicago a lot. Well, they do it all over the world, of course. But a lot of I know a lot of Shotokan folks. They go around their head, and they walking with that. Oh boy, I love it. But goddamn, if you see me fighting you like this, I'm having some kind of stroke or something going on.
I didn't shit it on myself.
Oh God! Okay. And you're hoping they won't notice. Yeah. I do all that.
African martial arts use minimal movements for maximum effect. So no big sweeping movements or high kicks. Martial arts is martial arts. Dance is dance. So they say. Okay, let me read that again. We start. Martial arts is martial arts. Dance is dance, and the African martial arts do not confuse the two.
No, because there's an old dude that says the battlefield is rowdy. The dancing ground is rowdy.
Yeah, bro.
Please, Ogun, let me always know the battlefield, not confuse the two. Don't confuse the two, y'all.
Yeah.
A person that I can pop lock good, boy. I can pop, but I cannot defend myself with that. And I can throw hands, but I cannot win a dance contest with it. Don't confuse the two. I'll be right back.
And know which one you want to do the most. Some people
they just want to dance. But I told the dude, I think I told y'all last week, he told me, man, don't worry about all that training to defend yourself. Just dance.
No, listen, seriously, this girl told me
that.
when I went to this fitting the other day, and I was told this woman, she was black. I told her I did martial arts, and she was like, "Oh, can you do an axe kick?" And I said, I probably could, but I'd never do that. And she was like, "Why not?" I was like, it. And then I swear to God, y'all, an Asian dude was in the fitting room, and when I said I wouldn't, he stopped and turned and looked at me and wanted to see what my reply. I said, well, in real self-defense, I wouldn't want to raise my foot that high off the ground. It'd be unstable, and it wouldn't make that much sense. And he turned back around with what he was doing. She said, I know, but the flare though. And she was dead ass serious. She was like, "What the flare though?"
You're fighting for your life. You're be thinking about what your flare.
Listen, it's so funny because we have that embedded in us.
That's what Baba talks about.
I know, and it's embedded in us, and I talk about it because I always think about myself when I was like laughing at that, not realizing I was still trapped in it in my own way. Still trying to do what Baba does, how he does it, the way he does this after this, then he does that, and he does that, and I love the way that looks. So I want to flow like that, but my arms ain't the same length. Nothing is. We're not the same person. It doesn't make sense sometimes for me to do what he does, and trying to force that is the same thing. Trying to be cool, and you got to realize that on every level. So.
I gotta say, this is my personal experience because maybe I am a little bit more like Baba than Belay is. But the first time that I did two sword training, I remember I was able to do this move exactly like Baba. Like I had to get my swiftness down. It was me and Boomy, training together. And I was so proud of myself.
So, and don't you be feeling good though? But anyway, so all right. So African martial arts, like we said, with African traditional anything, mindset is of the greatest importance. So African martial arts must be experienced, not simply observed to understand. That's big, because if you've taken anything else and you've only seen this from the outside, it's going to look like that. It's going to look like that's because that's what your mind is going to compare it to. And if you don't feel it, it's not the same. In class, even if I'm right here, I didn't train this. I've been with Baba training for 10 years. He can do something to somebody, and I have to say, let me feel that. Because sometimes, even with my mind seeing this, and I know this and I know that, no, you still got to feel it. Sometimes you just have to feel it to know.
And what happens in class a lot, one person say, let me feel that. Everybody saying, let me feel it. And then I turn around and say, well, okay, you do it to me. Because now I got to feel that I ain't felt it in so long. Right. That mindset is important.
That's African.
And that's African. Because the African, and this may get people who's spiritual, but the African doesn't believe in nothing they can't see or feel, hear, taste, or touch. Mm-hmm. And people say, "What?
Yeah, Bo.
Don't you?" Even in our spirituality, the reason why when you hear us say, "Okay, Ogun is iron and war," because those things are felt, touched. But it's true. So if you got a knife on you,
of course I do.
Of course you do. I mean, like,
I'll give you my sharp just in case you want to cut.
No. I got to show them iron. Okay. You say, well, why didn't you pull your knife? Because I don't have one in my pockets. You say, what? You don't have one in your pocket? I said, I don't have a knife on me. I don't have one in my pockets. Now, this, and some of y'all have seen me talk about this, but many of y'all, we got a lot of new folks out here. This is iron. Right there. Is that a danger to anybody touching that right now? I mean, not touching it. Is that a danger right now, just sitting there?
No.
No, it's not. It's not a danger. Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, I can be dangerous at any time. We're not talking about just my trainer. A regular Joe, you just sit next to, they can be dangerous to you. Because that's Ogun. That's Ogun. The iron and war and me, that's Ogun. This, so the Odu, once again, Odu is the corpus of knowledge in Ifa, amongst the Yoruba people. You'll do Okana and Osai, is 256 Odu. Okana and Osai says, what good is the cutlass except human beings pick it up? So it's letting you know it's not like a spooky thing. We just believe in it because it is. That people have made the African seem that way. Hoogity, boogity, hoogity, boogity, hoogity. And we just believe in shit and we pray in the trees and shit. That's not it. What good is the cutlass except human beings pick it up? What good is the rake except human beings pick it up? What good is the hoe except human beings pick it up?
Talk about it.
Now, when I pick it up, we already said I'm dangerous. I can be dangerous to you, right? When I pick this up, am I more dangerous to you?
Yeah, bro. Absolutely.
But is this more dangerous to you?
Yes, it is.
Way more, because I picked it up. So the external Ogun, iron, and the internal Ogun as one are way more dangerous. But you put this down, the external Ogun is only dangerous if a human being does something. If I cut myself on it, if I step on it, if I'm driving the car and crash, then but that car just sitting there is not dangerous to me. What good is that iron except a human being pick it up? But I am always dangerous because Ogun is always in me. And the more you train, the more you actualize Ogun, the more you become Ogun. So I am Balogun, war chief, because I'm very, very Ogun, very, very dangerous. Well, this is only dangerous if I pick it up. You understand? That's how Africans think. So we're not picking it up. So you look at this thing and say, that's martial arts. That's African martial arts. That's how you do it. That's how you're full of shit, or you're ignorant and confused because you cannot learn African martial art by looking at no goddamn pictures, videos, people doing it.
I learned that as a child, trying to get it off the magazines and then getting beat up. I was like, damn, this shit ain't working.
Because you have to, any martial art that's combative, really, you got to learn it. You got to, but African martial arts, to understand it, you got to do the techniques, and then you actually have to think about it, be taught things at the foot of people who know more than you, because you got to be guided along in things that you don't understand. If you don't know a thing, if you don't understand a thing, you don't know it, it's not real to you, right? If you don't know a thing, it doesn't exist to you. So you can't even know to think about it. But he could say one thing to me and now it exists to me. And now I can think deeper, maybe deeper than him one day. You got me? So that's how the African martial arts are. Just so you know.
Old Dirty Kung Fu said, my seafood gets mad at me because I prioritize application over form demonstrations.
No, you're absolutely right. So a person sees me do a demonstration, and you're going to see some demonstrations of things now. Now, we have taught in here, and you're going to see for yourself. That's different than when you just see how this thing is. You're going to learn for yourself. That's why I hate doing demos, because demos, the people walk away with nothing except a show. They don't know nothing. And if they think they do, they can get themselves hurt or embarrassed.
Speaking specifically about Igbe Ogun, there are 5 basic principles and 4 advanced principles around which the techniques and applications in Igbe Ogun revolve. These 9 principles are the soul and spine of the system. All authentic West African martial arts are developed upon similar principles.
And I say West African because I don't do East African martial arts. I was about to say I don't do Central African martial arts either, but I've been very exposed to those. But that's for another conversation.
Number one, the four elements. Earth. The element of earth represents the stances in Igbeogun. Within the earth element are three foundations. Wood, which is high, narrow stances, extremely mobile, used for fast, upright fighting and self-defense. Stone, low, wide stances, extremely stable, used for grappling and for fighting with a weapon. And metal, low, narrow stances, extremely malleable, used for gripping and ground fighting.
All right, we're going to get into it. We're going to bring both cameras up because we're going to be going back and forth. Now, let me think. How do I do this one? Okay. I'm going to remove camera B. Then I'm going to bring it back up with learning all this stuff, y'all. We getting there. All right. So we'll go there for now. Now,
Good job, Barbara.
hey, the three foundations. So wood was first. Wood is high and stable, correct?
Yeah, Bob. Extremely mobile.
I just made a solo.
Okay, so wood stands.
Oh, you want to show the solo stand?
Yeah.
Can you work the?
No, you stay here so they can see you because you're on this camera.
Okay, so you want me to bring it back?
Because she's going to be reading from the different things, and we'll just stay here and just demonstrate what she reads out from the. These are the four elements.
I'll bring her back. I took it upon myself. Let me see.
No, I got you. You're still up here though. No, yeah. Don't take her out. So you gotta. No.
It's up there.
No. So.
Stand by, friends and family.
So, with us, what you'll see here. I said, y'all good, okay.
You have to bring the camera down and see your feet, right?
Yeah, they need to see. Okay, that's good. Wood is high, narrow, very mobile. So that's the typical fighting position for us. Back heel is raised, your dominant side forward, so his left is forward, my right is forward. They can see your feet.
They see my feet.
Okay, so I move back.
Yeah.
For some reason they can't see my feet though, but so the back foot, you can see his back foot. Toe turn slightly in. Okay. So the front foot is turned slightly in. The back foot, the foot is parallel and the heel is raised. Both knees are bent. Our shoulder is square, not canted off. It's square. So if a person was to run me through with a sword, shoot me or whatever, they can hit my chest. It hits one lung. Hope you have a heart. Hits one lung. I can still breathe on the other one. I still got a heartbeat. If I'm like that and shot, it goes, or stab, ran through with a sword, it goes, hits my lung, hits my heart. That's pretty much it. And then hits my other lung. I'm done. So
a lot of sports tend to be sideways like that.
Right. And from the hands, this is way far away from me. He's not reaching me. This becomes an annoyance, his jab, because it doesn't have no distance on it. Okay. And we're depending on this to knock me out. So step forward and then he knocks me out with that hand. Mm-hmm. Boxing has affected people where you're right, but look at ancient statues and even modern wrestlers, they fight with their dominant side forward.
Yeah, well, even old school boxers used to do it too.
And there's a reason. Yes, old school boxing. There's a reason for that, which we won't deal here. This is just dealing with aftermath. So that is the stand, and then you got your guard up. So similar to a boxer stance, but not quite. That is the wood stance. Now the stone stance. Leave this foot in the front. Take 2 steps back. Right. That's for wrestling. That's also using for the heavier tools. If I was using a knife, I'd be up here. If I'm using a sword, an axe, a sledgehammer, I'm in the stone position. Where now this is wide, it's stable, it's wide and low, and it's stable. Okay. So that is wide, low, that's stone.
I had this weapon right here. If I was using this tool,
You'd be out a little bit wider. Yes. Now, going to wood stance. He would not be in wood stance. No, wood.
wood tomorrow.
He would not be in that stance.
Right.
If he's in that stance and he's using this stick, he gets ready to hit me. This is what happened. No, he gets ready to come up with it, or even like a bat, that kind of thing, right? Which is intimidating. That's easy to stop. But getting stone stance, stay there, take another step, half step back. Yes. There, now, I can't push him like that. I'm going to get jammed up with this tool. It's much more stable. Up here, it's some bit mobile. You're thinking about mobility. Right? Moving on. So I have a knife. I'm moving on him from the wood stance. Stone, I got a heavy tool, and so I'm staying low. Okay. Now and then finally, the metal stance, which people hate. My students hate this.
Yeah.
Because it burns. It's the best one to train because it makes you explosive. That is for ground. Metal stance. Even if I'm standing up and I want to do something to him, he can grab my ankle and my knee. And it's hard for me to get any good hits off from that. Just bring your head up, though. Look up right there. It's hard for me to get any hits off. But he can take me down. Okay.
Can you do the stance completely on the red so that because your parents are blending with the
I got you. 1 second. So can you see it?
The
you want me to do it?
His
I got
knee is not touching the ground. That's like one of
his knee's not touching the ground. But now his knee is touching something. You know what his knee is touching? You.
Right.
His knee is on you. Sometimes you have your shin on them, and when we deal with the ground, we'll deal with that. But a lot of times his knee is on you. Okay. So that is that's earth, right? That's the element of earth, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's earth. So the 3 foundations in the earth is wood. These are 3 things you find in the earth: wood, stone, and metal. Okay, so that's the 3 foundations, but within the element of earth.
One for mobility.
The next one is
one for the heavy tools. One for the grappling.
Ground.
Grapple. All those grappling.
The next one is air. The element of air represents the footwork and movement of Egbe Ogun. A practitioner of Egbe Ogun can move like a gentle breeze, like a gale wind, or like a whirlwind.
Okay, so whirlwind of death. There you go. So first arrow step. We dealt with this. What was this last week?
Yep. Check the feet.
No, we were in class dealing with it, but I'm here. Arrow step. Whatever direction I'm moving in, that foot moves first. Arrow step. That's air. It's movement. Air. Even if I'm doing different things, right? It's air. So now, also against a strike, I'll do a ghost step versus straight punch. So if you straight punch.
So they may not see the punch, but you can see how his feet would move. Let me take you a little bit more so you can see it just a little bit better.
Punch with your, so I'm going
This
Closer to
way.
the camera, yeah.
All right. So we can see.
So if he's punching, go step. So he punches. I'm here, so that foot came, and then I'm here, so that I can grapple or whatever it is I got to do. Okay, I go again. Go, right? Or spirit, right? Slap the nuts, excuse me, and down. You can't really see what I'm doing there, so, but I just want you to know the movements, and then finally, covers the necktie throw. That would be, so he's punching. Just know that he's punching. I'm covering myself, and y'all learn covers if you've been here. If not, look up covers warrior class, and you'll see what covers are. I'm coming at him with arrow steps. He punches again. I'm coming at him with a circle step. These are, but I'm still in wood stance. Okay.
They can see that. They see what your feet doing.
All right.
Can you show it? Oh, good.
And then from here, I go behind his neck. I take him here, and this is
They see that.
the throw here. So I'm going to turn. This is all air dealing with footwork. And then I go into a metal stance
That's
on him. That's it there.
That's where you were that knee at.
And I can boom, 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 slam down or whatever. I can get up and stop him from getting up by using my shins.
His knees are never on. He's never gonna touch the ground with his knees. Because
Yeah,
my
it's
body
always
is here.
his body. It's his body
If it's
or
there, use it. We'll
in
get
the
into
air.
that too.
okay. So that's second element. That's air.
Right. The third element is fire. The element of fire represents the masculine energy and techniques in Igbo. Fire techniques are forceful, penetrating.
It should be the male energy, excuse me, but that's male energy. Not masculine.
Male energy. The techniques are forceful, penetrating, and explosive.
So,
Fire.
and we make it a male energy. A woman can use or have.
Yeah, but
Female energy, a man can use and have. Feminine energy, I don't have. You ain't gonna see me having feminine energy. I'm not talking about nobody else's. I'm talking about me. But I will use female energy. Okay, so, male energy is penetrating, right? Strikes. So from here, male energy, hammer,
that's male.
hammer, elbow to hammer, cross, right? Slap, pop, all that penetrating type energy. The headbutts, things of that nature, knees. That's male energy. You give me female. Should be next.
The water.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Water. The element of water represents the female energy and techniques of Igbo. Water techniques are yielding, encircling, and deceptively powerful.
Okay. So you are, it sucks in, it throws, things of that nature.
He just showed you one. With
He
color
strikes. I can do, I can come under. He said tap, tap, because that's tight on him, right? It's deceptively powerful. You don't see it. Even this, you all have seen this throw like this, the African way. It's a little different. It's a little different. It's deceptively powerful.
The ground and make you go down.
It's deceptively powerful. Now I gotta go back over there because my part's coming up. So I just turn and look that way. He goes now. It's deceptively powerful.
Footwork.
And that is water energy. Okay. Or female energy. So it's the water element, female energy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get on. You ain't gotta take it up there. I'll take it up over here.
Yeah. Good old female energy, I tell you.
Welcome back, co-host.
Thank you.
Just like magic.
Delay is always uncomfortable.
Now next, y'all gonna get up on this one. Polyrhythmic application. Like the African drum, the techniques in Egbe Ogun in African martial art period are polyrhythmic, meaning a practitioner of Egbe Ogun seeks to touch his partner or opponent in two or more places at once. An offense and a defense are usually applied simultaneously, or the offense is the defense. So we're about to go get into that.
Oh, nice. Cute shoes.
So once again, I'm gonna bring up the other camera.
I may have to let me put the camera down real quick, y'all. Just real quick so y'all can see those cute shoes. Look at those shoes.
Hold on. Let me go back to it. Hold on a second.
See how about y'all put the focus back on himself? He can't stand nobody else.
Ah,
There we go. Okay, here we go.
and those are cute shoes. All right. If you were in ancient South Africa, they would kill you. Well, we all kings and queens, so they wouldn't. So in ancient Africa, well, I say pre-colonial.
I know what you're getting at because they
you can't wear leopard unless you are royalty.
Right.
In South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
West Africa, you would wear that as an apron if you were a war chief. Well, not just a regular war chief. Kaka, the Are Ona Kakambo, which is the war chief of war chiefs. He's the head of the ASHO. The ASHO was like their special forces. It was 61 people. 60 of them were Balogun. And one was the Balogun of Balogun, who was called the Are Ona Kakambo.
Yeah, he's
I
very
wear
smooth.
that because I'm queen.
And,
All right, so
I mean, a king.
yeah, you're king, yes. So to show once again polyrhythmic application, punch and Ominiki do a cover. Do a cover as you step towards him.
So I do this hand so they can see. So I punch when you come.
No, you did a slip and an elbow. Do a cover. You don't cover to the. You don't have to cover to that. Cover with your other hand, your front hand. Step towards him at the same time. Yeah. So that defended her, and it hit him at the same time. Right. That's polyrhythmic. So she's touching him in two places at once. He's touching her. Another thing you learn from polyrhythmic application. If you're grabbing me, we don't see it that way. You grab me, I'm touching you. So now I just got to make sure I touch you in more than one place to be effective. So there, her shoulder / back is touching his wrist. Her elbow is slamming into his shoulder. That's polyrhythmic. Now wrap around his arm, Ominiki, and trap it to your side. Yes, and now turn and slam an elbow into his face, but don't actually hit his face. She's touching him in two or more places at once.
She actually hit my face.
I know she hit your face. Mm-hmm. She has the elbow. We're getting to call and respond. She has the elbow touching his chin. She has her bicep touching his tricep, or kind of like his bicep on the side, really. And her forearm is locking up his bicep right above the elbow. That's polyrhythmic. If she only was grabbing his wrist or grabbing his elbow with her hand, that's not polyrhythmic. You got me? All right. Now, the unbroken circle. This is number 3. A practitioner of Egbe Ogun seeks to blend with, I'll say African martial arts, but this is all from Egbe Ogun, but this is African martial arts. These are definitive. Seeks to blend with and adapt to the actions and rhythms of their partner or opponent, creating a never-ending circle. A practitioner of Egbe Ogun does not meet force with force, but rather takes their opponent's energy and uses it against them. I said energy, not strength. She cannot take his strength. He just standing there and use it against him.
Right.
That makes sense. He has to be in motion. Right. He has to be in motion. Then she takes advantage of that motion. Okay. And same with her. You ain't gonna just, but you take advantage of their motion. So in this instance, in the unbroken circle, you punch at Belay, and Belay, you just absorb with that and take her down with hip throw, reap, fulcrum throw, whatever. Yes.
We'll carry it down a little bit. Y'all get close up to this one. All right. See?
So it's an unbroken circle. And really, she should end facing the same way you facing.
Right. If I actually, yeah, so let's do that.
Because you want the circle unbroken. Now I got to get in there. See,
but y'all can't see it down there either, too, right now.
Right. So I'll show you unbroken circle. Yeah.
Can you just the camera a little bit so you can see when I hit the ground?
Now I'm gonna be facing that way. Okay. You ain't gotta hit the ground.
No, so you can see me.
I mean, you don't have to fall. That's what I'm gonna show you. Unbroken circle is also this. He punches with this hand. I'm here. We're facing the same way. Now, if I did throw him, if I am facing this way and he falls that way, that's a terrible technique. He falls that way, it's terrible. I could do that.
I got you.
But if I turn, he got to be falling the same way I am, or the circle's broken. Y'all understand me? So this is not the circle. This is the circle. His head in the same area as my head. You can draw a line from it like that. Now, I'm not going to do this to you, but I'm here, and if I take him back,
yeah, I gotta do it.
When I snap him back and sit down, you say, God damn, where's he going to be at? I'm going to slam him. So slamming him on his head is not the best thing. That looks good.
Right.
And you've seen in Lama, they slam a person on the head, but that's not. They just effing you up. But once I throw you with this technique, boom, your head is going to be right there next to my head. So you don't have to be in the exact same direction, but because your feet going to be down there. But your head is going to be right there. Okay. Our circle is not broken. In fact, after I throw him, and all I do to throw him is sit down and lift my arms, he goes over. Boom. And then I turn over. Really, it's going to really be because I'm still connected to you. Like then I'm going to mount him. So I'm on top, and then I'll end him with elbows. Okay. So that's how the unbroken circle is. Okay. We're using his momentum, but also I don't just you standing there at the bus stop, I just grab you and throw you like that either. That's using too much power. No, he's coming at me and he's hard, strong, he's charging like a bull. I take him, wrap my arms around, sit down, and his momentum takes him over too. That's when you see a person that's charged hard and they got taken off their feet and you see them both in the air and the person's head is heading towards the ground. It's really not going to be his head with the power of that throw. His head, they took the picture. His head is towards the ground, but it's really going to slam on his the top, his shoulders blades up here. That's what gets slammed. Okay. That on concrete is enough to knock you out or kill you. But that should be finished by now. You don't break the circle. You stay with them. You roll on top of them, and then bang, 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 bang. But after that, you don't break the circle. When we get off of a person, we don't just stand up. No, there's a way we get off where we're still keeping the circle. We're maintaining contact.
If she was with this hammer, so if she punched at me with this, she punched at me right, yeah. So you punching me, I come like this, and I put her in the arm bar. That's the unbroken circle right there.
Right, their heads going the same way.
Right.
They're connected, and he's moving really with her momentum.
Right. That's more of an example of versus what I did the first time.
And if he took her, so if he's taking her like that, instead of using his strength, there are ways. There's a way we take down by going under the nose. Right. But you can now extend your right foot in front of her foot.
Right. Just walk out.
No. So take her that way. Turn her like you turn her towards the window, but put your foot in front of her foot.
All right.
Put that foot in front of her foot. No, that's not in front of her foot. In front of her foot over there. That foot.
Oh, wide foot. So this way.
Right. So now she goes over that.
She comes around all the way around.
And now you bring her over onto her stomach. Unbroken circle still.
Back over now. Back.
Because you're dealing with her momentum, and momentum isn't always movement. It's also your body position sets up energy going in a certain direction. Okay.
Quick class.
But that's right. That's too much giving y'all.
That's our class in the middle.
Right. That's the unbroken circle. Now, the wind has one name. You hear students say this the most. Egbe Ogun simplifies self-defense by dealing not with a specific attack, but by dealing with the angle of the attack. You see this also in Filipino martial arts, Indonesian, Thai. I think Muay Baran, I don't know so much as far as Muay Thai.
Mindset to me.
Right, so it's a combat mindset.
Yeah.
You see it in the military too. So dealing with angles as opposed to specifics. There's too many specifics.
Right.
So I can punch, I can slap, I can all the same angle. It's the same angle. Like it's the same angle, right? Egbe Ogun recognizes for us that there are only 15 angles an opponent can attack from. Only 15 angles a human being can attack from. You can say the 16th. I had one former student say, I found the 16th. He didn't. Try it. Okay. So instead of being concerned with the infinite variations of attacking, it's really a major 5 that people attack from commonly. But you want to be prepared for any of them because you're not preparing just for the common folk. Okay. So it's infinite variations, but it's only 15 ways. Egbe Ogun deals with that finite number of angles. We further simplify things by teaching practitioners to understand this. This is very important. And repeat it while you're sitting there. Every strike is a block. And every block is a strike. Every strike is a block. And every block is a strike. When I say every one of them. So, y'all square up. Ominiki, do a slap with your right hand towards Bile's chin, defend it, Bile, because she'll really slap you. Go ahead. Do the slap. Yes. Now, Bile, you're going to punch with your left hand. Ominiki, do a slap to his hand as a cover. Go ahead. No, with your right hand, excuse me. The same slap you did. Right, the same slap. Yes. So, but the slap you did was the angle 12. Just so you know, we know the angle. So I'm gonna come over there here. So this is an angle 12 slap. I can do an angle 12 slap. Angle 12 slap. Now he punches at me. I do an angle 12. And that follows him. That same angle is there. It's there. And then I can do it again. To here. Because it doesn't matter the height. I can slap him here. Right? I can slap the other side. I slap, he blocks that. Boom. Right? Oh, I slap him to his liver. Those same things come there, okay? I can use that same thing. Now, he say, oh no, he stops me. And then he comes out here, and now he gets ready to slap me with that one. Now I can slap inside the same slap. And then back to the neck. So if I only know that one angle, I can use that in many ways.
Which he does.
Okay. So this sets up, I only know angle 15. I mean angle 12, excuse me. But that sets up so much stuff you can do. That would be really weird. But we had a person come on here, our first episode, say just slap him. Just slap him. Maybe you do angle 15. That's only what he knew. So that is, the wind has one name.
One of our greatest examples that we use of that is the cover. That's what we show because it's the easiest way to show. Because you know
it's a block and it's a strike.
As soon as you see it, you know what that is. You know what that is.
That's a rising elbow, and that also covers you from getting hit by a hook, overhand, or a straight punch. Okay. So that is the wind has one name. The final one of the principles.
This is one I use in life.
Number 5, waste no part of the sacrifice. We say waste no part of the animal because a lot of people will be like, sacrifice.
Animal just sounds smooth.
But so it's waste no part of the animal. Egbe Ogun stresses economy of motion.
So do
I talked to this martial artist here, older martial artist. He said, man, Bruce Lee taught the economy of motion too. I said, yeah, and I'm sure Masoyama, and I'm sure, because if they got sense and been training for a while, you learn the importance of economy of motion. The idea is, if it's there, use it. Usually I'll say, if it's there, I don't have to finish. They know that. They use it. If it's there, use it. This concept will become clearer as you train. I hope you'll be training after this. With us, hopefully, but wherever you find, if you want to train in African martial arts, I hope you can find them where you live. Authentic martial arts, traditional African martial arts, traditional African martial arts. If not, like I always say, take judo. Love judo. Y'all judo folks have to stop paying something, because I'll be talking about love about judo. Okay, so now even one of my students said, what can I take my son to? I said, well, not here right now because we're working on this weapon phase. We're on the knife right now. I said, but take him to judo. He said, I said, trust me, because I want martial arts. And he had done some job anyway with a tool and cut himself because he wants to do, he's a little boy. He wants to do martial arts. I said, well, definitely not tool ready. Take him to judo. And then he can come to us because we're too about it. And he don't need that right now. Yeah. But we want to satisfy his urge.
Right.
To train.
I got to start wearing camouflage pants for real, don't I? Because I'm really
did you camouflaging into the?
Yeah, I'm seeing myself disappear too much. It's bad.
So if it's there, use it.
This is is one of the greatest principles. Man.
The cover is there. If it's there, use it. This
teaches you to be a better martial art, better person, more efficient in everything.
Yes, if it's there, use it. Yes, be efficient always. If he punches with his hand and I move off, I'm out here. I don't then come inside because he has more tools to work with. I'm outside. Whoa, right? Hit him because my hand's right here. Now, if it was here when he did it, I hit him to his pancreas. But right now, I slammed that into his kidney. Boom. Right? But this elbow's here. So I lift him up. Y'all can't see it, but I just hit underneath. Boom. I pushed that up because it was there. Boom. Use it. Hit him here. Boom. But now this is there. If this is there, whenever elbow strikes, wrist is activated. So I slam this into his body and then I slap his nuts. Boom, because it's right there. Pop, pop, slap his nuts. But his face is back up. Boom, I bring this back up because it's right there. If it's there, use it. Now,
I know it's no gotta go
boom,
around.
I'm right there and it's right there. Well, my hand comes around right there. Shit, his head's right there. My knee is right here and it's right at it. His head's moving towards my knee. Oh my God, it's there, use it. Boom, I slam that into his face. But I don't just put my knee down. I slam that into his face and I slam it on his feet. Because I got to put it down somewhere. But I got to go ahead and touch the ground. He's not the ground. So now I step under his nose out here. He goes down.
I just downloaded the sequence.
If it's there,
in South Carolina,
use it.
slightly different, but yeah.
If while doing this, he turns a lot. Well, I don't just say, what do I do? I just keep him going that way. It's there, use it. Now he's there, and now I push down on his head, and he said, oh, tap, 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 because I'm now locking his neck.
South Carolina, same sequence.
I'm locking his neck. When I go here, I had to been forced to do that. I don't want to get kneed, so I lift his knee. That causes even more pressure on his neck, just so you know.
It's also a beautiful death. We call it a beautiful death because you writing your own way out. You decided that's what you
wrote the story, put the period.
Yep, I put my arm out there. I decided that's how I got.
And we always should write our own narrative.
There you go.
Boom, you wrote your own narrative.
So you picked your own stories. Beautiful.
So that is the 5 principles that we went through, and now, Belay, you can take us on over.
All right, so
that's the 5 basic. Now we're dealing with the advanced principles.
There you go, sir. So if you're going to give enemy your back, you become an ancestor. That's one of the things that we say often in class. In Ikbel Goon, we teach that you must prevent your opponent from getting behind you or taking your back at all costs. We also stress taking your opponent's back as it is much your opponent's. Excuse me. So let me start over. We also stress taking your opponent's back as it makes your opponents more vulnerable. The person with the rear position has the dominant position. So, like we said, the wrestler is to put you on your back, belly aside. That's part of it. So once you get on your back, you render. So
when somebody takes your back,
when somebody
behind you.
Yeah.
Now it's funny. I'm supposed to say, "Oh damn, he killed him by folding him like a shrimp." Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Zones and barriers.
So zones and barriers. That's the 7. These are 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are advanced principles.
When facing multiple opponents, identifying zones and taking barriers are of the utmost importance. Zones are the areas you can move to that are safest. Barriers are environmental objects and obstacles you can maneuver around to keep your attacker at a safe distance from you, or to off-balance them, giving you a chance to run away. Or attackers whom you can grab and control so they can be used as human shields.
We just talked about this last show when we talked about the drill we did. I just downloaded that, showing my daughter doing the drill.
But that's a class.
Yeah. But we just talked about this on the show last show, though, the zombie drill.
Oh yeah, zombie, but we didn't show it.
Right.
So zones and barriers. That is
we did show that in class how to use somebody's, but yeah, we showed.
And how
to show some shit on
dealing with in riots, dealing with people how to stack them. Things you're using the people as barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your opponents as barriers. Number 8, sense your senses. Sense your senses. Since the beginning of warrior class, and we're going into 3 years in August.
Yeah.
We have been telling you this. And say, look it up, let me know. Nobody has ever let me know how many senses. But we have been lied to. We have been told we have 5 senses. It's a lie. According to the African, it's a lie. The fact is, when I say African, I'm talking about those from traditional African warrior cultures, okay? The fact is we have many more. If you do not know a thing, it does not exist. We talked about that earlier, right? So you must know and understand your senses and how they function, lest you are unable to fully access and control the senses you do not know. In Egbe we recognize 14 human senses. You can argue with it if you want, just so put on your thinking caps. It's 14 human senses. They are, and 5 of these you're going to know, I hope. Sight. This technically is 2 senses, given the 2 distinct types of receptors present, one for color, cones, and one for brightness, rods. So you can see color and brightness with that. That's sight. Taste. This is sometimes argued to be 5 senses by itself due to the differing types of taste receptors. So your taste receptors in your mouth: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. Yes, it's sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. That's one of the tastes. You've tasted umami, but you may not know what that is.
It's like earthy.
But generally, it's just referred to as one sense, right? For those who do not know, umami receptors detect the amino acid glutamate, which is a taste generally found in meat and some artificial flavoring. The taste sense, unlike sight, is a sense based off of chemical reaction. Taste is based off chemical reaction, unlike sight. Touch. This has been found to be distinct from pressure, temperature, and pain sensors. It's distinct from that. So if I cut him with a knife, that ain't touch he's feeling. That's pain. That's a different sensor. Okay. If he feels hot, that's not touch. You ain't touching the heat, I hope. He touching you though. Pressure. This is another sense which people think is part of touch. Pressure from others, from objects, and from the environment. Pressure. How do you know the wind is hitting your face? Because it's causing pressure on you. Okay. How do you know I'm hitting your face? Because I'm causing pressure on you. And pain. The pain receptor coming in there too.
Like you can feel the pressure right before it hits you too, right before it touches you.
Right.
Or the pain.
Well, you can tell I'm about to slap you before I even slap you. So in many ways, with sight and other ways that we'll get into. So pressure is another sense. Thermoception. Thermoception, that's the ability to sense heat and cold. This also is thought of as more than one sense. This is not just because of the 2 hot and cold receptors, but also because there's a completely different type of thermoceptor in terms of the mechanism for detection in the brain. These thermoceptors in the brain are used for monitoring internal body temperature. Y'all be like, "Oh man, I feel hot." Not that it's hot outside. I feel hot. Okay. Okay. Be like hooking up something there. Kind of contraption. Sound. You say, what? Sound. Detecting vibrations along some medium, such as air or water, that is in contact with your eardrums. That's the sense of sound. Okay. Smell. Yet another of the sensors that work off of chemical reaction. This sense combines with taste to produce what? Flavors. Flavors is taste combined with smell. That's what flavors are. That's why if you got a stuffy nose, you can't taste the flavor. You know you're tasting food, but you can't taste the flavor. Okay. If you have no tongue, you smell garlic. You can't taste garlic, of course. You have no tongue, so you can't taste the flavor.
You can test that too if you have like some candy or something like that, something really flavorful. Get in your mouth, get the flavor, and then hold your nose.
Yes.
And then let your nose go and see the difference between, how much you taste it when you hold your nose and how much you taste it when you're not holding it.
Right. That deal with proprioception. This sense gives you the ability to tell where your body parts are relative to other body parts. This sense is used all the time in little ways, such as when you scratch an itch on your foot, but never once look at your foot to see where your hand is relative to your foot. When we training, I say, why are you looking down at your feet? You do feel your feet on the ground, don't you? You know you're on the ground. So now we're about to do the back fall, which we did last week. We showed it. You know your feet are on the ground. You know the ground. Say, why are you looking back? To make sure the ground there, stop. You know your feet are touching it. You know the ground is there. So your butt just has to sit right behind your heels. So you know where your heels are. Sit your booty down. Okay. One way you test if a person had a stroke, proprioception is affected. So you say, close your eyes, touch your nose with your finger. If you can't find that, and I've had strokes before, but my body is healed from those. If you're over here and stuff, you have most likely suffered a stroke. Or you do this, touch your fingers together, then close your eyes, touch your fingers together. You're searching. There's some issue there.
Yeah, if you ain't drinking, it's a problem.
And if you're drinking, it's affecting your proprioception. You have been affected.
Yeah.
People say, alcohol don't affect me. Or some folks in here may say, I eat an edible, it don't affect me. Let's test your proprioception and let's see.
That's good.
Okay. Tension sensors. These are found in such places as your muscles and allow the brain to monitor muscle tension. If you didn't have tension sensors, when children do this, if they didn't have tension sensors, they would the hair would be blowing off like on a TV show. Or they test the muscles and the muscles would just tear up.
Is that spontaneous combustion? Is that what's happening?
No, spontaneous combustion you set on fire.
Oh.
That's a different, you ain't seen some shit. All right. That's here when you didn't goddamn sense the heat inside your body. Okay. Nociception. Nociception. Simply put, that's pain. There are 3 distinct types of pain receptors. Cutaneous or cuteness, that's your skin. I pinch your skin, it's gonna hurt, right? That's cuteness. Somatic, bones and joints. In one class, this is before both of y'all, I asked them, what's nociception? They didn't get it. So then I told them it's pains. I was already, damn, they didn't get this. Just doing the test. And they tell you tests are difficult. Maybe I'm difficult, I don't know. But I said,
both.
I said, what's cutaneous? Cutaneous. Let me show you. I got to show you each one now. And I said, what's somatic?
I knew that.
That's bones and joints. I said, what's and they like, I said, what's visceral? Everybody like that. And my wife said, body organs. Because she's like, shit, I don't know what are you about to do now. She got them. So those are the distinct types of pain receptors, but it's all part of nociception. Equilibrioception. That's the sense that allows you to keep your balance. Another thing that's when I had my stroke, cerebellar stroke, I was trying to walk straight. I was walking right.
Yeah.
My equilibrioception was off. The sense that allows you to keep your balance and sense body movement in terms of acceleration and directional changes.
So that's also what affects when Nikki drinking.
Yeah, well, Nikki drinking is always, yeah. I say, Nikki, drive me home. Next thing I know, we're in Seattle. Whenever I want to go to Seattle, I say, Nikki, drive me home. They say, we're here. I say, hey, I'm in Seattle. I love Seattle. This sense also allows for perceiving gravity. I love it. So for a student, they be like, which way is up? I messed with your equilibrioception. The sensory system for this is found in your inner ears and it's called the vestibular labyrinthine system.
I think you just like saying these big ass words.
No, I've said this all the time in class. Probably every other class. You ain't got this yet. The vestibular labyrinthine system. So you slap the ear, boom, and then you throw.
You love doing that
because now your vestibular labyrinthine system is off, And so your balance is off, and then I throw you. It's easy to throw you, and it really messes
That's
you
a
up.
threat. Y'all will fuck up your vestibular system.
Babylon. No, what it mess you up? Then the person said, "You mean my vestibular labyrinthine system?"
That.
You're like smart bastard.
Who says I'm in Seattle?
Wow, see, we may be coming to see you.
Right.
The old dirty kung fu.
She
That-
said
oh,
he said
what?
he or she said that they're moving here though.
Yeah,
What,
they're
John?
coming to class.
The old dirty shit. I mean, the old dirty kung fu. You know, I gotta say that every time I call your name in class. And old dirty bastard is my favorite of the Wu-Tang Clan. Just so you know.
Yes.
My second is Raekwon, but other than Ghost made me cry. All that I got is you.
Yeah,
That's
me
the first time I ever cried to a hip hop song.
Yeah.
I give you that, Ghost. Shout out to you, Ghost. All right.
He follows me on IG. Appreciate you.
Well, he don't follow me.
I ain't gonna say who he followed because they probably shut my page down and tell
Oh,
me.
yeah, they will. Yeah. Let me see. These I got stars follow me too. Let's see. Stretch receptors. What else found at? Don't say in your damn hips or your tendons and ligaments. Nope,
It's found in your organs too.
not two. These are found in such places as the lungs, bladder, stomach. Hey, you see, and the gastrointestinal. Oh, you looking at it?
No, I'm looking down.
Oh, the gastrointestinal tract, a type of stress receptor that senses dilation of blood vessels.
Yeah.
Is also often involved in headaches.
I didn't know.
So you can sense you have a headache.
Yes.
Damn, my head. You say, well, that's a sensitive, or is that the pain one? No. You're sensing the dilation, so it lets you know something's going on. It's a signal for you to know.
That's what headaches are, y'all. If you didn't know.
Yeah, there's signals.
Don't cut off.
It's not the right. It's not. So don't. You're taking the aspirin to stop the signal, but you haven't dealt with the source. Okay. Chemoreceptors. These trigger an area of the medulla in the brain that is involved in detecting blood-borne hormones and drugs. It also is involved in the vomiting reflex. That's chemoreceptor.
13th.
Time. This is the last one. The mechanism we use, and this one, black folk, sometimes we're born without it. Because we be late like a mug.
Yeah.
The mechanism.
That's the white man's time.
White man's time, 15:30. That's supposed to be, I'm 26, all this shit. The mechanism we use for this seems to be a distributed system involving the cerebral cortex, cerebellum, and basal ganglia.
Basal ganglia.
That's not like you eat basil and you part of this gang. We the basal gang. Basal ganglia. Basal ganglia, your cerebellum, and your cerebral cortex. It's all part of your brain.
That sounds like a real soft gang.
I know, soft gang. We the basal gang. That's why they don't say gang. They ganglia.
Shout
It's got
out
a
to
little
my
softness
homeboy
flow
Basil.
to it.
He's not soft. Shout out to Basil.
It's a British gang.
Uh-oh.
Basil ganglia.
Sorry, Akebola. He be, aye. He be knocking at the door. Aye.
Like I like that.
When he first came here, he was playing with the children. Oi. And he knocking the children over. And I'm like, oh my God, he helping the children up. But they were loving it. They were loving it. I'm like, oh, they jumping in his back and throwing them across the room. I'm like, oh my God. So long-term timekeeping seems to be monitored by the suprachiasmatic nuclei.
I swear to
And
God.
he gave me this one. The suprachiasmatic nuclei. He said, you going to speak on the suprachiasmatic nuclei today? That's responsible for our circadian rhythms.
He only did this for the words, y'all. I swear he only did this shit for the words.
Now, short-term timekeeping is handled by other cell systems. So time is the last sense, and we have it. He actually is real good with sense of time. He was in class. He was saying, I said, B-Lady, what time is it? 9:12. I looked, 9:12.
I don't know
We're
why.
going
like
over.
That. On the mat. It's on the mat, though.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, I don't know what the fuck time it is. I be all over. I be late for everything. When I get on that mat, it's 9:07.
You know the time. So his sense of time is great in there. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Fight on all fronts.
This is the final
African principle right here. Fight on all fronts. We must fight on many battlefields and fight well. Also, we are attacked in many ways, physically, spiritually, psychologically, and emotionally.
Yeah, bro.
These attacks are launched through the media, books, television, radio, video, film, artwork, and social media, through the educational system, through the judicial system, through our food, and by other means. Thus, we cannot be a one-trick pony. We must be skilled at other things: writing, acting, film and television production, musical instruments, survival techniques, health and wellness, gardening, cooking, clothing design and tailoring, being a barber, doctor, teacher, parent, firefighter, engineer, painter, and many other things. So in authentic martial arts, you are encouraged to master things beyond a kick, punch, and how to tie your belt. We fight and we prevail on all fronts.
Yeah, bro.
So let me just say real quick. See, we got a lot of people in there. What you thought was going to say is, you over there, you ain't African. You ain't doing African stuff. We ain't been watching you. That's what you wanted. You want it one way.
But it's the other way.
It ain't never going to be like, one thing I know about dealing with this dude, man, I used to try to get out of him what we was going to do for that day, to tell me verbatim, like, what we going to be doing. You never going to get that. Then that's because that takes away from your training to even get it like that. It takes away from a part of your training that you could be getting, the part where you adapt to what you get. That part and other parts of it. So that's why it flows the way it flows. So a lot of times you may be thinking this is going to be one thing, and it may be that way one time, but not when you're ready for it. Not when you're thinking it's going to be that way. You know what I'm saying? You never know, and that's what the importance of it.
And for our friends and enemies and frenemies that tuned in today thinking that we're just gonna bash the hell out of a specific martial art and stuff. That doesn't garner us anything. That's not our style. We're gonna tell you the truth now.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell you the truth, but as far as coming at specific folks and stuff like that, even when people would come at me, I don't mind that. I'm still not coming at you. A brother. Did I talk about this last week? I thought I talked about with you all in class, but he lives in a country in Africa, and he challenges other martial artists, other black martial artists. It's very interesting. And only black martial artists only challenges. And they go there and they spar, and he'll post their school against his school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool if people gonna do that, their school against his school. Hey, well, no, he doesn't do that. He posted them against him, their name against him. One of my students, without talking to me, goes over, and he ain't got to talk to me about going over.
One of your students who hadn't trained with you.
They hadn't trained with me in half a year at least, but goes over and decides and he was an instructor, decides he's going to go over and represent us, represent himself. He should have been doing, and he thought he was doing that, I believe, and fell off our principles, and that was the end of it, because he wasn't going by our principles. He went by that person's arch principles. He got hypnotized into what they were doing, and even then the dude had a hard time, even though he's way bigger, quicker than the dude, close to the same age, but he overpowered him basically. Then he called me. I can't go out like that. I need you to tell me what to do so I can go back in. And I said, what you should have done is called me in the first place and talk to me about this before you just went and represent. I said, got our shirt on and everything. But I said, but I got to get off the phone and, talk to this brother. I called this brother up. He's a professor too. Intelligent, brilliant brother, And I like this brother. I was surprised he did it. For us, he puts up, instead of that brother's name against him, he puts up Egbe Ogun against him.
Wait a minute, this is a professor that did this?
Yes.
Was he light skinned?
No, not professor on Black Power.
Okay, I'm just all right.
First of all, I said he was in Africa.
Okay, all right.
Jared's been to Africa.
Yeah, I know. See, Jared's in Africa too.
If Jared is challenging folks, fighting them online, I would love to see that anyway. Not saying he can't fight. I would just love him to post that.
I didn't know if he was out here fighting.
But
anyway.
if it was Jared, I would have did the same.
Has any intellectual online ever simultaneously posted videos of them fighting people? Because that would be like a first.
He does.
Oh, he does show pictures.
Not Jared. This person.
This dude.
This person has fought, like dozens.
Okay.
And posted.
Not a first.
And he's a professor, brilliant too.
Okay.
He's been on Black Power Meet.
Okay.
Now, when my student fights him, because we have a certain reputation, he posts not him against that dude against him. He posts Egbe Ogun against him. I called him on the continent. I got to talk to him. I said, hey, man, you either have to change that title to that dude like all the other videos. I've watched all of them. You got to either change that title or I have to come there and represent Egbe Ogun. And me and you, I'm open. Or if you don't, you say, well, that wouldn't be fair because you've been training way longer than me. I'll send my wife or I'll send one of the other male students if you don't want to, lock hands with a woman. He said, I'll do better now. I'll take it down now, Baba. He took it down. I haven't checked in years. I don't know if he put it back up, but he took it down. I'm not saying he was scared of me. I'm saying he realized that wasn't right. You got me? So I had to address that because that was not right. If you're putting the school against you for all of them, then I would expect it. But that's the only one you do that? Nah, brother. Because that didn't represent Egbe Ogun.
Right.
That represented a brother that hadn't trained in over 6 months, I believe. Hadn't communicated with me at all, doesn't communicate with me this day, and haven't done anything to harm him, to insult him. Me, I can mobilize, either he hasn't talked to him. So hold on one second. In Detroit, that's not us.
No, that ain't us. It look like us.
And they got our shirt on. The reason why. That's Kalindi Eden now. Okay, all right. Yeah. So he showed me a picture in Detroit. I'm like, who is this moving like us?
He doing the energy.
It's Kalindi Eden. Oh, now a quick story, and we're gonna end on that. Years ago, I don't think I ever talked to any of his family about this or Kalindi Eden. Because I didn't have to. I was doing it, supporting somebody that I have admiration for. Mm. There was a young group during early time of the internet, late 90s, early 2000, maybe 2000. They were talking about who's authentic and who's not. These brothers who how they gonna talk about who's authentic? They ain't no shit. Mm. So they were talking about he wasn't authentic. They had tested me. Oh, you know things. Okay, Balogun, you authentic. Like you can't. I said, well, thank you for saying that, but you can't judge me whether I'm authentic or not. You don't. Who are you
to tell you that you're authentic?
So they were dogging them. I said, y'all got to stop that. Y'all got to stop that shit. You're disrespectful. The one thing that Africans do, we respect our elders.
Yeah, well. And
what you all don't know is that Kalindi Ede goes to Africa and trains often. So stop what you're doing. Stop that. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So, and other stuff was said that I won't say. I was young and I was harsh in those days and was about it. Mm-hmm. In fact, this one brother told me, I'm about it too. I said, by yelling that, you typing them capital letters, you're not about it, son. You're not about it. And in fact,
I believe they call that with the shits.
Yeah. I said, yeah, I was with the
Before
shits.
we leave.
I said, man, look here. Look here. You know where my school is. You need some money to help get here? I got you. I got you. I will send my money. I talked to my wife. I said, baby, we'll put one of these bills on so I can help this motherfucker get here. Because he said he bowed it too. So he got to show me because I'm defending another person that you have insulted without knowledge. Then come on. He never came, just so you know. But I had to defend Kalindi. I have a strong respect in Kalindi's transition. And shout out to his family. Much respect to them all. Much
Is he
love.
the one who developed shackle hands?
No. Who asked that? Is he the one? No, I manifesto. He didn't create Shackle Hands. He has the Tamarian Institute. Shackle Hands. I'll just say that. Shackle Hands.
And I like the way
that's all I'm gonna say.
I like the way we did the show too, because what we did is gave you the criteria. Now, whatever art you in or whatever you claim, that's the criteria. And if that's not the criteria, you have a different criteria. Where'd you get it from? Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I just want to say. This is a much better show than what I think a lot of people may have thought was going to happen. We laid the outline up. Now you can take that as a blueprint. I want to show Bob with this because this is a seafood. He's getting his black sash test, and this guy's approaching him with a knife. And let's see what he does. You saw what he did. Did you see what he did?
No, go ahead.
I got to take it back so you can see what he did.
Okay, so this guy's coming with a knife. He's punching. He
knife attack.
He's kicking.
He kicked the guy with
the knife. Okay, so why would you waste? I'm old. Why would you waste my seconds?
Because I was for them out there. It's
they
people,
can't see that though.
But we talk about it all the time. It's people out here that have no training. I'm not no training.
You got some training.
Their technique has never been tried, tested, and proven. And they've been passed on and passed on. So they believe these things.
Yes. Now, the knife, the guy's walking like this. and nobody attacks you like that with a knife. And then he kicks a dude and the dude falls down. That's all I'm going to say on that. That's all I'm going to say.
He didn't claim
and now back to the shackle hands. I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying shackle hands. Now, what do you think about Hassan Khalik? Love him.
All right.
May not love me, may not know me, but I love Hassan Khalik. So Hassan Khalik, I feel, is the best representative for Sanukas Ryu Jiu-Jitsu. Even though he's added other things, calls it something else. As far as his skill, now, as far as his job, I don't like.
What is his job?
He's police.
Oh, damn.
Maybe he's retired by now. I think he's older than me, so maybe he's retired by now, but he's police. But his skill level, you seen Hassan Khalik before, because I posted, I'm like, now this is good Sanukas. Okay.
Mark Taylor has asked a couple of times where he gets the blueprint.
In class?
Oh yeah. Or you could
order this video.
Or you can order the African.
You can African Warriors Bible.
You can order the African Warriors Bible.
Yeah, Baba has that bottled up righteous and furious anger. That's true. Sometimes it ain't completely bottled up, but we might have had some crazy adventures about roll with him as a youth. Yes,
Anybody who rolled with Baba as a youth had crazy adventures, and you didn't have to do anything but just ride along.
Yeah, it's funny now. Some people ride along, stuff happen. You see people go gulp. You see the big gulp right there, right? Me and my wife looked for it. We were driving. My wife tells me, "Babe, turn right here." I said, "You sure?" She said, "I don't think that's a legal turn." Babe, turn right here is quick. I turn. As soon as I turn, pew! And I look at everybody and say, "I'm sorry, y'all." I said, "You know I'm not going back to jail." And the brother with us, he watches this show, so he'll probably be laughing at me. He said, "Go." And he's so tall, you see that long neck, go. And I looked at him and I felt sorry for him because I was deadly serious. I'm not going to jail. But what changed the thing when the dude was So the way I started handling the cop was, I said, what you got for me? What you got for me? I'm doing this. What you got for me? I'm looking at it. He said, well, it's just a ticket, sir. I said, okay, you signed it already? Then you need. I said, I'm not going to sign that. He said, okay, I just got to show it to you, sir. He said, you got license, registration? I said, I got all that, insurance. So he said, I need to call the insurance to make sure. I said, it's Sunday, man. So you messing with me now. You messing with me. It's Sunday. And he said, well, can you come around to the back, sir, and we talk? And I said, sure. I go around the back. He said, can you put your hands on the thing? I said, no, I sit on the car and everything like that. I said, so what's going on? You know, and he is intimidated like shit. And I said, I'm taking him. And I didn't. So I can say this, y'all. I said, I'm taking him. I'm not going to, I'm taking him somewhere. I'm not going to. He ain't taking me nowhere. So, but I looked in the back window and realized
people.
Jamie was in the baby seat. So she's looking at me, and she's looking still back. So she's looking right into my face. And Ade is right next to her. He's 3. Yeah, 3. Let me see. Yeah. No. He's 6. So that is what made me chill out. I said, I'm just messing around. I'm a fool, man, like that, and put my hand on the thing. Because I was like, I'm going to push him in fact. But my children are back there. I can't do that because he started shooting. We struck, and a stray bullet can hit one of them or whatever. So I can't do it. Or he shoots me, I die, and I die right there in front of. So I said, over some job that didn't have to, and he ended up leaving. Just drive carefully next time, sir. Sure. I drive off. So be careful out here in what you do. And I'm definitely not saying y'all do that shit. I was way younger. Not saying I'm
Mark Teller, his books are on, if you look at Rock Hill E, I posted Balaguno Jatade, Amazon.com. Yeah, I manifested. You're doing a lot of typos, my brother.
African Warriors Mindset has the student creed. Yeah, yes, it does. It does.
Darian be reading.
Darian on and thank you for your support, Darian.
We really appreciate you, bro.
I'm a fan of Michael Jai White. What is your opinion? I asked a couple of these and then we're gonna break out. I love Michael Jai White's movie. In fact, me and another author, we wrote this movie that was award-winning, Ngolo. It's a martial art, futuristic martial art movie. And he's in mind for this character that's in there, right? So I admire him as an actor and as a martial artist. That's all I know him as. I don't know what his politics are, but I admire him as an actor and as a martial artist, yes. And he was going to, we want him to play the role. The role is, they're all African martial artists. They're a group of assassins. They're all African martial artists. But he does karate, stuff like that. But for video, we could tweak that because he has the physicality to be able to pull that off. Mark Taylor, Balogun, Ajun Tunde in search.
That was I manifest a typo. You came back and corrected it.
Okay. Yeah, so OJ Tade, yes. The first book is not, which is African Martial Arts Discovering the World Within. That book, I didn't publish that book myself. That was published by Stickman. It's no longer available to be. Yeah, somebody bought it and they out selling it $1,400. People were mad at me. I'm like, that's not me, and it's not Stickman either. I don't think. Right. I doubt that very seriously. So, that's not me. $1,400. God damn, I wouldn't even feel right doing that.
I'm not gonna say it ain't me because if I had a chance, I have to get y'all.
Now, yes, Stickman from Dead Prayers. He actually published my first book. Mm-hmm. He was actually my student. Yeah. So.
Can't say Stickman might be getting that money on the holla at me, bro.
Stick, if you making that kind of money selling the book, yeah, give me a little percentage of that money. God, dog. No, $1,400 for any book is a whole lot of money.
It's a few rappers, hip hop, and people that Baba done train. You know, they ain't gonna. The thing about it is, if you, especially if you train, are you gonna be telling the world that you train? Does that make sense?
And I'm not going to tell folks for that very reason.
You know, Exactly. So nobody gonna be like, hey, I train with these and I know how to work with tools and stuff, y'all. You're not gonna hear that from people that's really trained. They're not gonna say it. If the only reason that I promote it because I promote the school. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it if I wasn't trying to promote the school.
Yeah, me too.
I know that's right.
It took years for my student to get me to even come on social media and do anything. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, we had, and this was huge numbers back in the day, we had 10,400 members of African Martial Arts and Science, which I founded. It was on Ning. And on Ning, basically, everybody on your site had like a Facebook page.
Right.
And could do a lot. You could do a lot more than that. I mean, it was incredible. And we had some good times on there. Sometimes with mugs, have to challenge and, challenging me. I'm coming at mugs and protecting people, especially women. They were coming at it. It was interesting.
Well, we got these numbers. I want to ask y'all for favors too, man. Just because we're live right now, you can look at any archived show. You can look at any show and you can like any show you like. You can play it as many times as you want to. Yeah. We play
tons of different topics. Also,
people had a podcast on while they cooking and eating and whatever. Well, you ain't got nothing going on. Play our podcast. We can use.
Or you writing. For my writer friends, I know a bunch of writer folks who are martial artists too. Listen and write. See
what you get out of it while it's just playing while you're driving different things. Use it like a real podcast. Use it like an audio book. Use it. You know what I'm saying?
And the family here.
There you go. And we will appreciate you for it. And
very much.
Appreciate it.
And mash that like button, y'all. Mash that like button. Mash that like button.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe out here. Okay. Put it in the comments, whatever you got to say. If you're mad, it's cool. If you're mad, I probably won't say nothing back to you. I just, share with them. We may have a little laugh.
I'm laughing at your daughter when she walked out the door talking about stay black.
Stay black. Well, that's always.
Y'all say
that's how we've been saying that in the family for years, right? So we say stay black. The answer is always. All right. So love y'all. Stay black or whatever it is that you may be. Okay. Stay that. Whatever black or whatever it is that you may be. Be proud of that. Okay. And be a person that makes your people proud too.
Dude said I can tell people who train in martial arts without them informing me.
And a lot of times you can, yes. Love y'all. I appreciate my hosts with me.
Yes, sir.
Ominiki and Belay. I appreciate all of you, particularly those who've been rocking with us for almost 3 years, right? So it's just gonna get better, y'all. Just make sure you train. Be safe out here because it's getting mad. Peace.
Fade out. I met Dominique Wilkins the other day.
He comes to the Hawks games.